5-3 DF Memphis. It's time for Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Sports Time on a Fight Song Friday. Bryant and Brett with you. Connor Dacus producing for us this afternoon. We're Sports Time. We're with you for the next 3 hours. A ton to get into this afternoon as we get you ready for the weekend around the sports world, and a fun weekend. It will be all the college football action, the NFL action, playoffs in Major League Baseball. Will continue to have preseason NBA games, so a lot to keep an eye on around the sports world. But before we get to any of that and kind of all the action from last night, Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, I'm doing well. Now, we did decide on the big Mizzou-Bama game, that first fight song, that was Mizzou?
Brett, they have two fight songs, is what I learned.
Okay.
And
I didn't know that.
And I tried to figure out which was the more prominent, and I think
Okay.
I picked the right one. But Missouri fans, please let me know, because I have not heard
let us know.
of a school having two fight songs. But I literally tried. I looked up 3 or 4 times. Which one is the Missouri fight song? And
I don't know.
I got
I
got
do not
both
know.
as the answer, and then.
Well, is it kind of a Tennessee thing with Rocky Top and down the field?
Well, that's what I thought, but I don't think so. I think they're both considered the fight song.
Okay.
I don't, at least based on my limited knowledge that I learned.
You and Connor could have y'all could have run Purdue in there on me for all I knew. Hearing that one, I know this. I know the second one was Bama.
Sure. Yeah, no, the second one was very identifiable, but
Dixie's football pride.
Yeah, but the first one not so much. And I was gonna do both of them because I guess when they do the fight song, they run them both together, but there's a chant in the middle of it, and it's kind of a long chant, and you can't really understand what they're chanting, and so I was like, we'll just roll with the first one and see what happens. I don't know.
Way to go, Mizzou.
Fight Tiger is the official.
That's not what I.
Oh,
not
no.
What I heard. That's not what I heard. I heard it was the other one. Whatever.
We'll never know.
Missouri,
We'll figure it out.
no doubt, they started homecoming. That's their thing.
Yeah. I've
And to
heard
be
that
there
before.
for their homecoming in 2019, the only time Ole Miss has played Mizzou since they joined the SEC, we were up there for it, and it is quite the weekend. They really do it well. It's homecoming in Oxford for Washington State. There are a lot of Washington State fans here, Brian.
Really? I was going to ask you earlier, but I figured there's nobody traveling from Washington State all the way down to Oxford.
Ran into a really nice couple traveling together. They stay on the road this week and go to UVA when they play Virginia next week in Charlottesville.
Oh, really?
I said, well, you're knocking out what I've been told the best 2 college towns in the country.
Yeah, that's,
UVA and Ole Miss. I've
that's
never
really
been to
good.
Charlottesville.
Yeah, I mean, but being able to, but I guess that is the nice thing when you are, I guess, not currently in a conference, or I guess in a conference that's only 2 teams, and so you have all these
Except for that zany home and home with Oregon State that they have.
Yeah, you play the home and home with them, and so I guess that makes your conference schedule is a home and home. Weird.
a lot of really nice Washington State fans. They said bucket list, and glad they're here. And a lot of them, travel through Memphis, and some were there last night and here today and here for the weekend. But for Mizzou, Harpo's will be right tonight in Columbia. This is a big one for Mizzou.
No, it is a big one. Connor, do you have the Missouri fight song pulled up? What's up? What they have on there?
They have both in one YouTube video.
Play it both. I want to
Okay,
hear.
here we
I want to
go.
hear it all together.
Here we go. We don't need controversy.
Nah. So that's the part we heard. Now they chant. It's a long chant, I told you. I mean, this chant goes forever.
Come on, Mizzou. Time's money.
Here we go.
It's a 3-hour show, Mizzou. Come
Good
on.
Lord, this sounds more like a fight song.
Yeah, it does.
But I was getting both answers. So now Missouri fans can't be mad at us because we.
No, please don't be mad.
We're doing the best.
Don't
we
leave
can
mad.
here, baby.
We don't want to leave him mad, do we?
You can get here mad, but you can't leave here mad.
Don't leave mad.
Don't
That's
leave
right.
mad. So yeah, but no,
All right.
you're right. It
Good
is
stuff.
it is a big game for Missouri.
Mizzou and Vandy on back-to-back weeks.
I mean, it's and we're talking about it being a big game, and
In
and what
October.
does this mean? And yeah, in October, and for Alabama to think about it. Already knew big game against Georgia. You knew that was going to be a big game regardless. Then big game Vandy, big game Missouri. So I mean that is
And third Saturday in October next
yeah,
week.
How about that? So I mean that is a crazy schedule for Alabama.
Bama gets the best shot, though, don't they?
They do.
From everybody.
They're going to get it from everybody, and they're going to get it for a long time, no matter what happens in the DeBoer era or any other era that comes after. But I mean, so far so good for Alabama. I mean, we were all kind of sitting here for the Georgia game, going, "Oh, I don't know. What are we talking about if they lay an egg against Georgia?" And then they go out there, they win. Last week it was, "Oh man, this feisty Vanderbilt team go out there, do what they did last year, and they beat them." And so now another one, this time on the road. So I'm looking forward to see what Alabama shows. Can they do it another week? And for Missouri, we kind of continue to go back to them of the job that Eli Drinkwitz has done with this Missouri football program, and I personally don't think has gotten enough respect for what he has done at Missouri, and so would definitely be a great opportunity for him to pick up a big win at home over Alabama.
Hard job that always looked like it should be easier than a lot of really good coaches made it. You have two huge, great recruiting hotbeds, Kansas City and St. Louis. Then you have the hinterlands across the rest of the state.
Yeah.
Springfield, Joplin, really good football, but it has never been easy. It is nobody's ever made it look easy because those first two big recruiting areas, the whole world recruits it.
Yeah.
And the Big Ten really thinks they own St. Louis, and and I guess they probably still do, the Big 12, certainly when Oklahoma was in it and others, they think they own Kansas City, and then Nebraska used to always come in and get a lot of good players from those other areas I mentioned. It's tough. On Monday at 5, we're going to have a really fun visit with our friend Tom Ackerman from KMOX in St. Louis because, I've told you, he advocates, and I know he's right, that in St. Louis from his perch, it is the most SEC Big Ten crossover town in the country. That you've got a lot of both.
Yeah.
I think I agree. I know I agree with that. Also, he is a proud Indiana alum, and they're going out to Oregon this weekend. And Tom also used to be on the Mizzou broadcast team. And we're going to get some baseball talk in
Of
with him, too.
course. How could we have Tom Ackerman on and not get to some baseball talk? So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
So much for the Cubs, salty tears.
Woo, man.
Take that, little Cardinal fan.
Yeah, well, Brett, you kind of got the reverse jinxing.
Woke 'em up,
yesterday.
didn't I?
I mean, you said that the Phillies would be able to stretch it back to Philadelphia, and then the Cubs we would get the salty tears from Cubs fans. And yeah, it was the exact opposite. So yeah,
Gonna miss wide.
I guess so. We always talk about if you have that parlay and you miss everything, you should get something back. I mean, Brad, I think you should get something for that yesterday.
How'd you make 8 on a hole? Missed a short putt for 7.
That's exactly right. But no, I mean, yeah, Cubs win, but then the night that Philadelphia fans had, you have your baseball team get knocked out of the playoffs, football team loses to the Giants, and then Brett, your Flyers. They get beat by the defending champs.
They did? Oh, shucks, they
Brad,
did. Yeah,
yes. It was a good game.
They did.
Brad, it was a good game. Yeah. I hate that you missed
Tough
it.
loss.
It was a tough loss. I mean, it really was. Against the defending champs, Brett. Oh, the Florida Panthers in town.
Hell yeah, the defending champs, the Panthers.
That's right. Yeah. Had them right there, Brett, and just let them go. I mean,
yeah.
it was a fun one. But
now darn. We only have, 191 more games this year?
I mean,
before they eliminate 4 teams for the playoffs?
They play 1 million games in hockey, so plenty more. I don't think any Philadelphia fans were sweating the hockey loss last night with everything else going on.
Feels like some of the hocky series are best of 92, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, they are. They
go
go
long.
Time. They go long.
The ice melts by the time you start it till you end it.
You got to keep it cold out there
for
the
Phillies, though. Bryant, I know we talked about this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Get the ball in play. Don't strike out. You know what happens when you strike out. You hang a left or a right.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But get the ball in play in Little League. May break out.
Mm-hmm.
He had him dead to rights at first.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just
and that's the easiest throw for a pitcher to make. That's the one they're most used to. You ask a pitcher to throw it any other place, second, third, or home, cuckoo.
Oh, yeah.
And cuckoo broke out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you could tell the exact moment when
could.
things were going sideways. He starts fumbling with the ball, and then you're like, oh
no, here goes. You didn't.
He kind of gets up, and he's almost like, I'm throwing it home. Do I really want to throw it home? And then he went with it, and you're like, well, you're way too late by that point.
Wilt Chamberlain couldn't have caught it. He so overshot it.
Yeah, I mean, just threw it wide.
I think Magic Johnson in the stands couldn't have caught it.
I mean, he would have had trouble corralling it. No, that was very unfortunate.
And the more excruciating, tormenting way to lose for the Phillies fans, like a lot of our friends are, Greg Gass and our friend Pat Donahue at the Rendezvous, a lot of Philly fans. Mike Fitzsimmons, who played Ole Miss, loves the Phillies. They had a chance to win it all.
Yeah, no, that was
that wasn't team. Just darn, we're knocked out of the LDS. No, they could have won it all this year.
They absolutely could have. I mean, this is a team that you look at that lineup and they've got some really good players. They added at the deadline to that bullpen, and just did everything and made. We talk about at the deadline making smart moves, making good moves, making bad moves. Felt like the Phillies made some really good moves at the deadline, and just for it to come to that. And in that way, just brutal to watch. And great game,
That's
great
what
pitching
we'll
matchup.
Remember.
Although,
it was. That's what we remember.
Yes.
But the Phillies lost it getting swept at home.
That's right.
At a tough home field advantage home.
Yeah, I mean, look, we talked about when it went back or when it went to L.A. about how much of an uphill battle this would be for the Phillies, and they were able to get the first game, and then very close to getting the second game, and swinging the momentum back completely, going back to Philadelphia, but get to those extra innings, and it came down to that bottom of the 11th and couldn't get out of it. But you look at that pitching matchup last night. Sanchez for the Phillies, give them 6 1/3, only 1 run given up by him. On the other side, Glasnow gives them 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, only 2 hits. I mean, both those starting pitchers were really, really good. So that was a fun game, and then just very unfortunate how it ended for the Phillies.
And now for the Dodgers, okay, kind of underachieved all year. We're 8 away from back-to-back.
Yeah.
It's not one of these deals now where, on opening day, people are expecting you to win 100, 110, and be the perfect team. No, they just have to win 8 now, and they're back-to-back. But this weekend's going to be a lot of fun in college football. At ESPN.com all day, Bill Connolly's had a story running. We've talked about this is the weekend to kind of boil it down and maybe shine your resume up a little bit. Number of games. What would you think the number of games that could bring a sense of order to college football season of chaos? What would you think it would be?
Just this weekend?
Just this weekend. He's got an exact number.
I'd say 7 or 8 maybe. I feel like that's kind of
31.
High. Oh, 31.
31. That's like the whole
I
weekend.
was about to say, I think that feels like everybody playing, isn't it? I mean,
Including a big one tonight in the American.
it is a big one tonight in the American that I think a lot of Memphis fans will be watching tonight. 31 is a lot of games, Brett.
To start trying to boil it down. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but when I start boiling it down, I kind of go
5 or 6.
Yeah, a
yeah,
little more,
I'm with you.
More close to.
Let's
to
tighten
one.
the recipe up a little bit.
I mean, 31. That's a lot of games to keep an eye on. Holy cow!
But that's his beat. Also, a big news story today. And we talked about it a few weeks ago when she announced her retirement at Loyola. Sister Jean at Loyola in Chicago passing away today at 106.
106.
Is that right?
That's right. The big 106.
Right, think of the lives she impacted. First of all, just think of the discipline that she had to practice to be that faithful, committed to her Catholic faith, the life she led, the number of people she impacted, the number of people that she led to Christ, the lives turned around. What an impactful life! What a big existence!
Yeah, I mean, really incredible, and obviously
and it took March Madness for us to learn about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was the March Madness run, the Final Four run for Loyola Chicago, when she really became a big time national star, and just knew she was a staple with that program, and really a staple of college basketball. I mean, turned into a college basketball icon. I did not realize, and I probably should have, with how old she was when they popped off in 2018, but she became the team chaplain in 1994. So she saw a lot of Loyola Chicago basketball well before we even learned about her on the big scale. So yeah, really sad news.
That was taking the job at 75.
Yeah, which, I mean,
okay.
I guess there's a job for everyone, Brett.
Yeah.
At any age, there's a job for somebody.
Great
so, yeah,
work.
It really is incredible. And you could see, I mean, the way that she touched every single person that she came in contact with, every single one of those players, the respect that they had for her, the love that they had for her. I mean, just really, really cool to watch. I think there was a story I saw, and I don't remember where I saw it, but I believe it was Seth Davis wrote a story today somewhere about his relationship with her, and just kind of meeting her and getting to know her on a personal level, and just what a phenomenal person she was. Of kind of, he said something in his story about how you see her from the outside, and she looks like this sweet little old lady, and that she was just 10 times better than that even looked, and just how great of a person she was. So really sad news, but just an unbelievable life that she lived. And so yeah, definitely praying for that Loyola Chicago community, those fans, those players, everyone that she was around on a day-to-day basis. But definitely sad news to see last night.
It was, and Loyola, they famously won it in '63, and then got on that run in 2018, and took out Tennessee that year.
Yeah, they did. And so, I mean, just remarkable what she was able to see in her life with Loyola Chicago. I mean, she saw a lot of success with Loyola Chicago in her life. So really, really cool life that she lived, and really, really sad the news that came out late last night of her passing at 106 years old. Well, we've got a really busy show this afternoon, so let me set it up before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Alan Bell from Driving the Line. He'll join us. We'll talk some wagering with him. We'll talk a lot of these NFL games over the weekend, get his picks. We'll also get some picks for the bigger college football games of the weekend. Might even get a pick from him for the Mariners and Tigers game tonight, the big Game 5 in Seattle. But a lot of wagering at 3:30 with Alan Bell. 3:45, we're going to take a look at the weekend in the SEC, some big-time matchups around the SEC, including the game that we played their fight songs, Alabama, Missouri. We've got Red River this weekend with Oklahoma and Texas, so some big-time games in the SEC. We'll take a little time to talk about all of them at 3:45. 4 o'clock, Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insider and CBS Sports. He'll join us. We'll talk some wagering with Bruce. We'll focus more on the college side of things with Bruce Marshall, but we'll get some NFL picks with him towards the end of that segment. 4:30, Brad Bellamy from Landers Ford. He'll join us. We'll talk about what they got going on over there at Landers Ford, but we'll also get his Landers locks for the weekend. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Ty Richardson from ESPN Arkansas. He'll join us. We'll talk the Razorbacks and the SEC with Ty. As Razorbacks, they're coming off an off week, and they've got Tennessee this weekend. It'll be the first game we see with interim head coach Bobby Petrino, so we'll talk with him about what this last week has looked like, what he expects in that game tomorrow for Arkansas. We'll also get some other things in the SEC as well. 5:30, we'll get to our First National Bank and Trust Friday football forecast. And at 5:45, wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. It's the world's biggest spa sale going on right now at Family Leisure. Spas starting at $29.99, swim spas now up to 30% off. Floor model specials, they're going on as well. And head out there and get a cold plunge. They're starting at $49.99. Get a free umbrella with purchase of select patio furniture sets. And don't forget, it's a perfect time to go out there and purchase your swimming pool. Even though it might not feel like pool season, get out there, take advantage of the clearance pricing. It's going on through the end of October. Buy now and save on that price increase. Don't forget about the special financing. It's available, but only at Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40.
We are Sports Time. We're with you until 6 o'clock. We want you to be a part of our show by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. He's Bryant. I'm Brett. And Connor Dake is producing for us. It just hit me. Connor, are you doing – is Landon doing – do you have his picks?
No, Landon's going to join us at 5:30. So he Landon's out on vacation, but he insisted that he would join us to make picks. So he's gonna hop on with us at 5:30 when we get to those picks.
Good. And always from our Family Leisure Studios, and this hour brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2025 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. You can call them at 901-334-9673, but they want you to stop by the only Lexus dealership in Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2025 flagship LS500, and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it is Thursday night football. That game last night, the Giants getting the win over the Eagles. And for most of the game, especially in that second half, kind of made it look easy against the Eagles. They went out back-to-back touchdowns for Jackson Dart and this Giants offense. And on the other side, the Eagles score 17 points in the first half, and then they didn't score again the rest of the game. After their final touchdown, the Eagles scored with 6 minutes and 56 seconds left in the second quarter. After that, the rest of the game went like this. They got one more possession that ended the first half, and they really weren't able to move it and even get into field goal territory. And then out of the break, the Eagles series went punt, interception, fumble. I don't know about you, Brett, but that is not a recipe to win in the NFL, and just really couldn't move the ball. When they did, it usually resulted in those turnovers that they had late in the game. On the other side, Jackson Dart looked really good. He finished with 195 yards passing, 1 touchdown. He added 58 yards and a rushing touchdown with his legs, but a lot of time he was running for his life in that backfield, just evading pressure, making space, and getting the ball out.
Slide.
That's the biggest thing. You know, everyone likes to see him run. Everyone likes to see him move.
A controversial hit.
You're right, but he's gotta get down, and he's one. He's talked about it before. He likes taking those hits. He likes being physical, but you gotta get down. Jackson Cam Scadaboo, big game for him. 3 rushing touchdowns, 98 yards on the ground for Cam Scadaboo. A really impressive game for this New York team that are relying on 2 really, really young rookies in Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo on the other side. This Eagles team now back-to-back losses, and you look at this offense, 17 points in the first half, nothing in the second half. That's now back-to-back weeks. The Eagles have been held to 17, so some real questions with this Eagles team.
My top story of the day is if you want to better understand the SEC in college football, then I think it starts tonight and tomorrow. If Mizzou wins, then they're 6-0 after beating Bama, and we have never looked at Mizzou like we'll look at them if they do that. OU at 6-0. And Mateer's back, and we'll see if they can win at Red River. If they take care of business, then we'll look at them with a little more respect. Tennessee got to get to 5-1 against Arkansas. A&M 6-0. They'll look different if they are 6-0. Georgia, nobody really knows what Georgia's all about so far this year. They win on the Plains. We start to understand them better. Even LSU after the open date. Illinois, let's see what they can do against Ohio State. IU at Oregon. Texas Tech at home against KU, Arizona State, and Utah. Somebody's going to lose.
Yeah.
That means somebody has 2 losses. They're probably out.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's going to be a fun weekend in college football.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, it is the action we saw last night in Major League Baseball. We talked a lot about that first game, a 2-1 win for the Dodgers. That means they advanced to the next round. It was a great game. Both teams scoreless through the first 6 innings. Both scored in the 7th, and then there were no more runs until the bottom of the 11th inning. We already talked about that play, kind of what went down, the big uh-oh moment for the Phillies. In that other game, it was the Cubs all over the Brewers, 6-0 the final score. And just like we talked about in the last game for the Cubs, where they put up 4 runs in the first inning and didn't score again, it was pretty much the same thing for the Cubs in this one. They put up 3 runs in the first inning. Now, they did score 3 more later in the game, but they didn't need those 3 runs because the Brewers were held to nothing. So this Cubs offense, they're really locked in, especially in that first inning. The top of the lineup hitting the ball really well right now, and we'll see what happens when these two teams return to Milwaukee tomorrow.
Baseball's my not top story as well. No salty Cub tears and no Phillies-Dodgers Game 5. But a Game 5 in Milwaukee to decide who will face the Dodgers in the NLCS. Milwaukee, like some of these college football teams, you want to be respected, you got to win that. Milwaukee always kind of gets to this spot, and then that's it. I know it's under budget compared to – everybody's under budget compared to Los Angeles and Boston and the Yankees and some others. But they got to win this game.
Yeah, no, they do. And it is going to be it was a heartbreak last night for the Phillies, and we'll see if this gives some confidence to the Dodgers. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's get to our first break, and when we return, we'll talk some wagering. Alan Bell from Driving the Line, he joins us next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Corky's Barbecue in Cordova.
If the question is, where should we all go after work? The answer is always Bell Tavern. Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect downtown neighborhood bar, not only has the perfect relaxed atmosphere you want in a bar, it also has an outstanding happy hour with $2.50 domestics, $3.50 imports, $3 well drinks, and $3 house wines, and $1 off of virtually everything else. Those are great prices at a great bar in a great location. So not only are we talking about everybody's favorite hang with ice-cold beers, signature cocktails, and the friendliest staff in town, we're also talking about great happy hour prices.
It's no secret, today's diesel isn't as good as it should be. Diesel lacks lubricity. That can lead to fuel system failure, costing thousands in repairs. But you can prevent those issues with Hot Shot Secret products. Clean injectors boost cetane, increase fuel economy while adding 4 times more lubricity than the leading competitor. Claims proven by real-world use and confirmed by third-party ASTM testing. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG,
high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. They're still trying to clean up a wreck out there on 40 westbound near Chambers Chapel, and did have traffic slow a few minutes ago coming in from Fayette County into Shelby County. Again, a little bit of a slowdown out there as THP cleans up that accident in the westbound lanes. Again, coming in from Fayette County, it's been rough. Traffic's moving right now on 55 southbound down through DeSoto County. Hey, Zips Car Wash is where I go, and so should you. Get upgraded shine and protection this weekend at your local Zips Car Wash. Check out zipscarwash.com for a location near you. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk some wagering. Joining us like he does every Friday, Alan Bell from Driving the Line. He joins us now. Alan, thanks so much for joining us. Let's start with that game last night. This Giants team, they're fun to watch.
Buddy, they sure are, man. Appreciate you guys having me back. And Jackson Dart is the real deal.
Yeah, he is.
Like, I really felt like last night, I was like, am I becoming a Giants fan? Like, they're fun, you know what I mean? Like him, Cam Scatterbo, like, I really enjoy it. And, boy, Brian Dayball, when Jackson Dart went to 10, you saw a man's life flash before his eyes.
Stressing.
He was yelling at the NFL guy, all of them. He was like, I need Dart back. Oh, man, it was funny. What a win for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the owner of the Giants, John Mara, with an official statement out, I think he really chastised Brian Dayball for that, because they want that independence with that neurologist on the sideline and all of them. Now, look, Jackson Dart's always going to say he can go back in. Last year in that game against Georgia, I know what it took for him to go back in, and everybody's saying, you don't have to do this. Don't wreck your future career. He said, no, I'm going back in. So I knew he wanted to, but that's where that independent neurologist steps in and goes, no, I'm saying set him down.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And let's say it's good for it to be independent. It has to, right? Like that's the best way for this process. And you're right, Jackson Dart, he's never – like you're going to have people say yes or no, because the player's never going to do it, right? I mean, Jackson Dart's a gamer, right? And Brian Dayball, that was his coaching life flashing before his eyes. He saw it, man. It was wild to see. But, Jackson Dart's real deal.
Yeah. No, he absolutely is. Let's get in some of these games on Sunday. Let's start with another London game early in the morning. Broncos and Jets, 8:30 a.m. start. Right now, Denver, a 6.5-point favorite, total 43.5. What do you like here?
I love the under in this game. I think that we are going to get a very low-scoring, classic London game here. And the Jets, look, they need a win. I don't know if it's going to happen. The Broncos, they don't rely on running the football and using that defense. Give me the under in this game.
And that under is that everything that goes into it, travel, the book getting around, one really bad offense. Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, all of it, right? Like, and you're exactly right. I mean, first the travel. You're playing 7 hours ahead. You only, So you only have so much time to get adjusted to it. And then you got to go out and play, right? And it's a tough game to begin with. I mean, you've got two teams that want to win by defense. So, yeah, adding in all those factors on top of two teams that do want to win with defense, yeah, man, 100%.
And I think Sean Payton has gone complete no-fun trip with Denver with curfew, no sightseeing, all business.
Yeah. You know what? It sounds like trips with Sean Payton are probably always going to be like that. You know, I don't think they're going to be kind of joking around.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. When you train under Bill Parcells, it's kind of like the Nick Saban ad. No fun. No fun allowed.
No.
100%. Yep.
Definitely no fun. The Colts, they've been a fun story this season. 4-1, undefeated at home. They're back at home on Sunday against the Cardinals. Colts, a 6.5-point favorite, total 47.5. What do you like here?
Take the over. Look, man, the Colts are playing out of their minds. At some point you would think they come back down to earth, but I'm not going to bet on it because they keep playing well. And the Arizona Cardinals are absolutely a mirror team. They will play up to teams. They will play down to teams. But coming off that loss to Tennessee, expect them to score and expect Indy to do the same. Don't mess with who wins. Just take points. They're going to happen.
And the Colts are playing well in that Arizona loss last week. One of the worst ever, and how everything transpired with the player and with the coach and the apology and the fine. Worst franchise in the league, the Cardinals are.
They really are. Like, honestly, man, I've so very rarely seen the Cardinals be a good, just stable franchise. You know what I mean? Like, just my whole life, it just seems like there's always one issue after another out there.
That one Super Bowl, even Larry Fitzgerald couldn't overcome everything there. Seahawks and Jags. Jags coming off Monday Night Football win. Can they do it again? Seahawks with the long road trip.
Yeah, they can do it again. Jacksonville's a good football team. Now, when they win the turnover battle, and Trevor Lawrence, he doesn't have to be Superman, but just don't give the ball away. This is a good football team. Look, I like Jacksonville here. I'm in love with Seattle. I have nothing negative to say about them, but I do think that trip is pretty big, and I think that Jacksonville's going to capitalize off of a big win. This isn't anything negative future-wise for Seattle, but right now I think it's a bad matchup, man. Give me Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. The Browns, they've made a change at quarterback going into last week's game, which was one of those games in London. Now they are back in the States, but they're in Pittsburgh to take on a Steelers team coming off a week off. Steelers 3-1. They're playing well right now. Pittsburgh, a 6.5-point favorite, the total 38.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, Pittsburgh. Now, as long as that number is under 7, give it to me. Because I think that Pittsburgh's looking at Cleveland saying, look, we've had issues before, but you got a veteran quarterback in Aaron Rodgers and a veteran head coach in Mike Tomlin. And on the other side, Cleveland, look, I like Dylan Gabriel. We'll see what Shedeur Sanders can do behind him, right? I don't expect a whole lot out of it. I don't think that it's going to go great because anytime that you invite chaos, you're going to have chaos. And I think that we're going to see that at the quarterback position in the next few weeks. Is it going to be Dylan Gabriel? Is it going to be Shedeur? They're going to go back and forth on this. And I just like the stability of Pittsburgh. Give me the Steelers with the points here.
Alan, I can't believe Brian hadn't already asked about it, so I will. Dallas minus 3.5 on the road in Charlotte against the Panthers. How are the Cowboys favored on the road against anybody?
You score 50 points a game, it's tough to beat you. You know what I mean? Look, I'll say this. I like where the Cowboys are. They know who they are. They don't try to be who they're not. And they're saying, all right, our defense is what it is. But if we go out and put up 40 points, good luck. And I think the vibes are high with them. I like the Cowboys in this game. I think that, you are definitely going to see points. And Carolina's playing better than people might think. And Bryce Young's playing better than the numbers might think. So I don't hate points here. But Dallas is playing good football, man. I like the vibe of the team. Believe it or not, I kind of like where this team is at right now.
All right.
I said earlier in the week with Bryant, we were talking about it, they have a 2-2-1. That's a Dale Brown freak zone defense,
Sure
isn't it?
is.
Go 2-2-1.
Dale Brown. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, my
That's
friend.
exactly right.
He ran that in the '86 Final Four, didn't he?
He sure did. He sure did.
We talked about the Titans earlier in their freaky win last Sunday. Now they're on the road against another 1-4 team, the Raiders. Geno Smith, it feels like at least one interception per game is a given right now. But Las Vegas at home, a 3.5-point favorite, the total 41.5. What do you like in this game?
Points. Take the over. I think you're going to see a Raiders team that's going to run the football with Ashton Yankee. They're going to throw the football a billion times with Geno Smith. And I think there's a little bit on the Titans side where you're going to see Cam Ward say, you know what, I'm just going to go out and play football. And just see how this thing plays out. And I think that, I'm not saying the Titans are going to win the game, but I do think that they're going to score some. I don't want to mess with a 3.5 spread. Gross. But I will play points on a low total there. So, yeah, give me the over.
Another game at 3:30, the Bengals and the Packers, a massive line. This Bengals team has been all out of sorts since Joe Burrow went down with injury. Packers, a 14.5-point favorite, the total 44.5. Is this line too big, or do you kind of like it?
Well, I don't like 14.5. I don't like that hook, but I will say, somebody go ahead and get Joe Flacco a pack of cigarettes for after the game. Because, look, man, it's not – has he met his new offensive line? Because they ain't very good, all right? And he's been there for, 5 days? There's just only so much that you can learn. So I think that, playing Green Bay in terms of a first quarter or first half is probably the smartest way to go about this, because Green Bay is going to say, don't play with your food, just go out. Touchdown, field goal, defense, end them, right? That's the mindset. So earlier the better in this game. But, Green Bay, take it, man. It's going to be tough day.
When Flacco met all of his offensive linemen, he asked them all for their home phone numbers.
No cell phone, home phone number.
63-year-old Joe Flacco, he wondered if he could get a phone book and look up their number.
Yeah, let me tell you, this plan that he's done has been pretty good, extending the last, 2 years of the career, making some money. But, buddy, you might be paying for it now.
You sure could.
Yeah, you absolutely could. 49ers and Buccaneers, a game that I'm really excited to watch on Sunday. Tampa Bay, a 3.5-point favorite at home, the total 47.5. What do you like here?
Buddy, you're seeing a lot of 3.5, 7.5, 14.5. Books are doing that on purpose, so pay attention there. I don't want to mess with the spread here. The 49ers, give them credit. My God, they've got a new starting quarterback, the same two dudes. They just flip out every single week. They keep finding ways to win games. So do the Bucs. And Baker Mayfield is a dog. I like Tampa here. Do what you can about that spread. 3.5. A lot of men have lost a lot of money on that hook. But the Bucs are for real, man. And not that the 49ers aren't, but that's a long trip, a lot of injuries. Yeah, keep that.
I like it. Over in college football, what do you like this weekend? What do you like in that Missouri Alabama game?
Man, look, I think points, even though you got a pretty high total. Look, Alabama's scoring, and so is Missouri, right? I think that you're just going to get two teams to say, all right, man, we got offense. Let's just go do it, and just try to score as many points as possible. So I like that one. Tennessee against Arkansas. Look, Tennessee is in a good spot here against Arkansas. A lot of movements happened to that coaching staff. Got by Petrino. And remember, Tennessee lost to Arkansas last year. I assure you, Josh Heupel has not forgotten about that, and he's going to attack. But I like the under in that game because Josh Heupel zigs when other people zag, and he'll use his defense and not need to score a million points, just choke you out. So I actually like the under in the Arkansas-Tennessee game.
67.5, SEC over and under, 67.5. Do you have a favorite college game or a favorite pro game we didn't get to?
No, you nailed it, man. And I'll say this, man. Honestly, my favorite game is that Alabama-Missouri because you got two teams feeling great. And that number is attainable, that total. Play that over, man. That's going to be a really fun game.
Yeah.
Are you going to Knoxville?
No, I wish I were, though, man. It's going to be a really nice atmosphere out there. I wish I were going, but no, unfortunately not.
Alan, big game in Seattle tonight between the Mariners and the Tigers. Anything you like here?
Yeah, so look, man, you got a total of 6, 5.5 at some places because you've got the best pitchers in baseball, Tariq Skubal against George Kirby. And how good is Tariq Skubal? The Tigers are favored in Game 5 on the road, right? Like, that's how good this dude is. He can fire out 14 Ks. That being said, play the over. All right, I've seen when ace and ace go up against each other in an elimination game, one of these pitchers will get pulled early because you have no tomorrow. So you're going to see runs start to bleed in this game, even if it starts slow. Take the over 5.5. Take the over 6. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome baseball game.
Yeah,
Alan, I don't know that I've ever seen 5.5. I don't know if I've ever seen that low of over and under.
Ever. Like, it's literally an all-star game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, like, that's the respect that both of these pitchers get. They're that good.
No, it is going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward seeing how that one plays out, and hopefully the Mariners can get a win tonight and advance past Detroit. But Alan, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend. Good luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you again on Friday.
Look forward to it, boys. Y'all have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for having me.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you so much, Alan Bell, with us from Driving the Line on all things wagering, and good luck to him this weekend. He was on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. Sissy's Log Cabin, the official jeweler of the hometown teams like the Grizzlies and the Tigers. That great location at 4542 Poplar. Supporter of everything in the community, including Tigers athletics. And on Monday, when we look back at the weekend in the SEC, they bring that to you every Monday at 4:30 on these airwaves. The Mid-South's largest selection of one-of-a-kind jewelry, engagement rings, wedding bands, necklaces, earrings, those special moments in your life. 9,000 square foot store in Laurelwood at Poplar and Perkins with expanded lines for Rolex, Cartier, diamonds, and more since 1970 with all the great locations. And when the Tigers play a home football game, we always get tickets from Sissy's Log Cabin to give away, and we appreciate it, and they appreciate your support. When I say official jeweler for the Grizzlies and at FedEx Forum with the Floor Seat Lounge, that's where you can go back and see those display cases, just a taste of what you see and can get at Laurelwood. Unsurpassed value, exceptional service, expansive selection, and an extraordinary shopping experience because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Well, let's get to another break. When we return, we got to talk about all the action this weekend in the SEC. Alan mentioned that he really likes this Alabama-Missouri over. I'm seeing it at 51.5 right now. We'll discuss that game and all the other games around the SEC. We're doing that next on Sports Time.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
NST's been taking down insurance giants for over 35 years. Big firm power with hometown heart? Yeah, they don't play. It's that combination that has helped them win billions for their clients. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos and enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. We got to talk about this weekend in the SEC. Some really fun games. And, Brett, it gets started bright and early, 11 o'clock, with that big one, Alabama and Missouri.
It is the big one, and the image of the winner will really be something. The defeated team, if it's Bama, well, we knew that. After FSU, it won't be – it'll be a lot of this. Nothing's changed. It's the same team that lost to FSU.
Yeah.
If they win, well, they're on the roll. If it's Mizzou, you got to win these games to be thought of at the top of this league to potentially get to Atlanta for Missouri. And they hadn't beat really anybody yet. Kansas pretty good, South Carolina pretty good, but those others not much. And then in the rest of the day, it's almost the same makeup of these games. Oklahoma and Texas can't take another loss.
No.
Or everybody bails.
No.
Oklahoma lose, then it kind of the Alabama. We knew who they were. We don't trust Venables.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly it feels like a bigger game for Texas because of those two losses. I do think that because of everything going on with Mateer, whether he plays or if he doesn't play, I think if Oklahoma loses this game, that I think a lot of people will look at it and go, well, Mateer's out or Mateer just came back and he's still somewhat injured. So I don't think it would be as massive of a loss for Oklahoma as it would be for Texas. I mean, Texas loses, they're sitting there 3-3, 500. I mean, there's no coming back from that.
They're dreaming of a trip to the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's best case scenario for Texas at that point.
Arkansas at Tennessee at 3:15 on SEC Net. We'll pick this game. Alan Bell loves the under. That's a lot of points. Bobby Petrino back. Heupel. He can't take that kind of loss. Petrino, I don't know how many he needs to get it permanently, but this would go a long way.
Yeah, I mean, this would be a huge win for him, and it's going to be difficult. I mean, I know they had the week off last week, and we're going to talk about it a lot with Ty Richardson at 5 o'clock, but it feels really hard when the coach just got fired, the team is kind of in shambles, to go on the road to a place like Knoxville and play this Tennessee team. I know we always talk about, when you get that interim in there, usually there's that initial spark and they come out and they want to play hard and fight for that interim and kind of show that they still have life. But it's not going to be easy on the road at Tennessee.
But what if a lot of those defensive players really like those three defensive coaches he fired? And the defensive effort was the real questionable effort in the Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
Now, against Arkansas and against the Tigers, it just wasn't very good. Even trying, they weren't very good. But against Notre Dame, they didn't try.
No, they didn't, and it's the defense has looked bad all season. I talked about it, I think earlier this week. If somebody was going to fire everybody on that defense, whether it was at this point or if it was Petrino or somebody else that made the decision, those guys were gone. But yeah, I mean, I think you feel good about the offense and maybe rallying behind their offensive coordinator. But the defense has been the big issue for the entire season, and so you definitely want that working against again, this is the Tennessee team that put up 21 points in the first quarter against Georgia. This is the team that can put up touchdowns, put up scores very quickly. And so, yeah, I'm worried about that Arkansas defense tomorrow.
But this is the time of year it's getting close to. This is who you are. We know who you are. Brian, I don't know Florida. I don't know A&M. I don't really know Georgia and Auburn and South Carolina and LSU. And that's the next games tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it with Kaylee Mansell and just kind of that idea. That was Wednesday when we talked to her, and that idea of it feels like we're very late in the season, but it feels like we don't really know anything. We got a text actually to the Sissy's Log Cabin text line. Our friend Jason texted in, and it's a long paragraph. It's some really good stuff in here about the Florida Gators, and he's kind of saying, toughest schedule really in the country. You look at who they've played. He thinks that they've got a pretty good defense. If they can keep DJ Lagway upright, he thinks that they could maybe turn the season around a little bit. You saw them with that big win at home against Texas. They get a win on the road against a team like Texas A&M. That will really put a spark in that locker room and maybe get them going in the right direction.
Thank you, Jason, for the text, and I don't want to be snotty about it, but you're right. If they beat A&M to victory goes the spoils, Florida should get the credit. But you know what most everybody's going to be saying? Same old A&M.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
that's a lot of this weekend. The winner won't get near the credit that the defeated teams this weekend in these SEC games, how they'll get lambasted.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that's not the case. I mean, I think, Texas A&M, it's so new with Mike Elko in there. It's just a second year. I mean, it's easy
but Bryce,
to say.
you know how cruel we are to the loser,
it's
to the
very
defeated.
easy to say it, but, Mike Elko in his first year, what he did last year, and then to have this team 5-0, but you're right. Who was it we were talking about? I don't even remember the team we were talking. It was Missouri. We were talking about Missouri, I think yesterday with Pat Smith. And Pat Smith pointed out this was about the time last year where everything was going really well, and then they kind of hit that wall and kind of struggled down the stretch, even in some of those wins last year late in the season, kind of struggled. So, yeah, I think this
Pat grew up in Sykeston. He knows Mizzou football.
He sure does. He sure does. So, yeah, it feels like this is going to be a very important weekend. You talked about those two games of kind of, do we know who these teams are? Brett, go even further to that final game. Do we know what South Carolina is? Do we know what LSU is? I mean, I don't really know if we know much about any of these teams.
I don't even recognize LSU compared to 2 weeks ago today before the Ole Miss game and how they were being talked about to now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they lost again last weekend. They didn't even play last weekend.
The rare they lost their off week. I mean, it's very hard to lose when you're not playing anybody.
And the quarterback matchup in Georgia and Auburn with Stockton against the Oklahoma transfer, and then Lenora Sellers against Nussmeier, we thought that was going to be elite play.
Yeah, I mean, and it was, kind of, you talk about, especially in that first game with Georgia and Auburn, okay, you got a quarterback that we saw a little bit of him late in the season last year against a quarterback that it felt like everybody was out on, but he goes to Auburn, and here comes the hype train again, and then South Carolina and LSU, you're right, those were the two top quarterbacks in the SEC coming into the season.
Would it be booze at Tiger Stadium of Garrett Nussmeier? I mean, never mind Arch getting pulled. What if Garrett Nussmeier had to get pulled?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, that's kind of the question there is what's going on. I mean, you felt pretty good that especially the passing game would be something you didn't have to worry about this year. But Garrett Nussmeier has struggled this year. And, we heard about the injury a couple weeks ago. Is he more injured than what they're letting on to? What is really going on there? But, that is definitely an important one for LSU to go out there and try to get a win over South Carolina. For South Carolina, would be a huge win for them to kind of maybe steady the ship again. But we're about to get to a break. But before we do that, let me remind you this weekend, perfect time to head down to Olive Branch and check out Frontier Western Store. Family owned and operated since 1967, Frontier Western is your one-stop shop for all the biggest brands in Western wear. They're also the one-stop shop for Carhartt in the Mid-South, and they've also got you covered with plenty of other brands when it comes to shirts, shorts, jeans, outerwear, whatever you're looking for, they've got it. But if you need a new pair of jeans, well, Frontier Western is the place you got to get to. They've got all the biggest brands from Ariat all the way down to Wrangler, and you'll love how easy it is to find the perfect size and style for you. While you're there, check out Frontier's world-famous boot showroom. Whether it's work boots or dress boots, Frontier has you covered for the entire family with plenty of in-stock proven classics like Ariat, Dan Post, and Durango, and that's just to name a few. Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know you'll be getting the best deals. Head down to 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch and check out the entire selection. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. for Frontier Western Store. Well, let's wrap up this hour and get to another break. And when we return, talking some more wagering, Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insider and CBS Sports. He joins us next.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Introducing your new Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do list gets to be a lot. Like organizing your holiday shopping and searching for great holiday deals and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Luckily, you can get a PC with all-day battery life to help you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside, backed by Dell's price match guarantee. Get yours today at Dell.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. See Dell.com for details.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show, right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM, your Mid-South sports station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Starting to build with more volume on all the major outbound routes here in the last few minutes. A couple of wrecks in their cleanup stages. Midtown traffic gets increased even more on 240 and South Parkway. Watching it pick up also on 240 East and West. Already over here at Walnut Grove and Poplar. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry is your full-service family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. Check them out this weekend at 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our second hour on this Friday afternoon. We talked some wagering earlier with Alan Bell, focused more on the NFL side of things, but now we got to turn our attention to the college side, talk some wagering. We do it at this time every Friday afternoon with Bruce Marshall.
Joining the guys every Friday is college football historian and Vegas legend Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insiders, CBS Sports, and his own website, bamsports.net. With over 30 years on Memphis radio, with handicapping and sports talk, here's Bruce Marshall with Bryant and Brett.
Bruce Marshall joins us now from Vegas Insider and CBS Sports. Talk some wagering. Bruce, thanks so much for joining us. A lot of games to get to, but let's start with tonight in a game that a lot of people, a lot of Memphis fans will be paying attention to, a matchup in the American. South Florida, nationally ranked South Florida, number 24 in the AP poll, on the road against undefeated North Texas. Right now, North Texas a 2.5-point favorite, the total at 68.5. Do you like anything in this American matchup tonight?
Yeah, I kind of like South Florida, Brian, and I'm kind of alone in that, I think, because almost everybody I talk to seems to think, oh, they're North Texas, and this is going to be the game tonight, and I like North Texas, and and Eric Morris is one of these guys who might be moving up in the world. Although North Texas thinks it could be sort of a destination sort of job. Nice new stadium there, and the Metroplex in the North End. Things are good. They've been impressive, but I mean, some of the wins. They struggled. They have 2 overtime wins: Western Michigan and Army. Both those games are on the road. South Alabama had to score really, really late to extend that margin. Washington State's the one game where they really look good, but they haven't been tested really the way South Florida has been. I mean, South Florida's got that big win over Boise that still looks good. They did win that game at the Swamp. They could have scored 70 against Charlotte last week. They really pulled their foot off the pedal. And that game against Miami, I still think was a little bit of a fluke the way that thing got out of hand. But they've stepped it up a little bit more against some better opposition. I like Byron Brown, quarterback. He is a very good dual threat. One thing about North Texas, I mean, the quarterback Mestemaker came in there, and we saw him in the bowl game last year, and he actually didn't look all that bad. And of course, Chandler Morris left Denton to go back to Virginia. It's worked out pretty well for him. Mestemaker's actually put up some really good numbers this far. 11 TD passes, no picks. So they got some offense. But I think South Florida. That's my thought tonight. I like who they played, who they've beaten, and I think they can squeeze this one out tonight.
Yeah.
Do you think an American team could win a college football playoff game?
Yes, I think so. Although, if Brett they get in, they're going to probably be the 12th seed, and then you would, and it won't be like last year where Boise actually got in there. What is a 4 seed, and then have to play the number 5, which would be a pretty good team. So they'd probably be an underdog there. It's possible they could. I would think actually they might have more of a chance if it's a team like Navy that gets in there that just might have such a style that is very awkward for an opponent. They'd be an underdog in the game no matter what, but I don't think it's impossible because I think South Florida is the sort of thing we've seen they can rise up and they can beat a major foe. So it's possible. I'm not quite as sure North Texas can do that, but a team like South Florida I think could, and Memphis could. So we'll see.
Tomorrow morning, a top 25 matchup, Alabama on the road against Missouri. Right now, Alabama, a 2.5-point favorite on the road. The total 51.5. What do you like here?
That seems a little light on the spread, and I respect Mizzou and what Eli has done there, and his work in the portal has been really good. Pribula coming in from Penn State. Boy, he's glad he's not up there now. But Ahmad Hardy coming in from ULM, liberating him from the Sun Belt. And, this guy's one of the nation's leading rushers, and they have been very, very impressive. The wins over Kansas and South Carolina at home were pretty good. 2 good teams, probably, mid-level bowl teams there. This is a step up, though, and they didn't have much luck at all against Bama last year. It was 34-0. In this game at Tuscaloosa last year, and that was another good Mizzou team. And they have not beaten Alabama since they joined the SEC. And I dare say they haven't beaten Alabama since the 1968 Gator Bowl. And that was Roger Worley had a big game for, I can actually remember that. They beat, Dan Devine beat the Bear. But Alabama, I'm keeping an eye on them, and I'm tending right now, my knee-jerk reaction is not to doubt Bama right now, and I sort of was for a while there. And certainly out on the road they've had more problems. But it's different. The Florida State game, indicators are not. You got to just put that game, out of the mind right now because they're much better since then. Ty Simpson, much better. Now he's one of the Heisman favorites. That was an early start for him back in his career against Florida State. And they've kind of shaken the tree and started to move here. And I think this is just a little bit too light of a spread. And I'm going to give Alabama a look in this. And I have a score for you, 28-19. I think they'll get there. They did get the spread last week against Vandy, which looked like they wouldn't for that whole game. And if Vandy just could have tackled Jam Miller on that last play, the game ends and Vanderbilt covers. But Bama got there. Sometimes that stuff sort of carries through, and the mojo is working for Bama right now.
Bruce, one more Mizzou win. Remember opening night on national TV, Tony Galbraith and the Missouri Tigers beat Bama at Legion
75.
Field. Yeah, 75.
There you go. That's since '68. I do remember that, and that was and it was Steve Pisarkowitz at quarterback, and that was part of their giant killer era there. And Missouri used to beat a big team like that every year. But yeah, I do remember that for sure.
Bruce, can you believe how quiet all week Michigan and USC's been? Michigan and USC.
Yeah, I know it is. Big names there. In LA, it's a pretty big deal. It's a sellout apparently. So we got a 6:30 p.m. Central kickoff, so you can watch it tomorrow in Memphis on the big TV tomorrow. I think a couple things about Michigan here. One, that was not many style points last week against Wisconsin. Neither team passed the eye test there. And there's a rumor that in sentencing in Ann Arbor courts, they were watching replays of that game in lieu of community service for punishment. So it was really bad. But I would say this. Think about this for a sec with Michigan. Their last 7 games, so we'll go back to the end of last year. Among those 7 are Ohio State, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Nebraska. Pretty big, tough bunch there, tough quartet. None of those games were played at the Big House. None of them were played in Ann Arbor. Michigan won 3 of those games. 3 of those games Michigan won. They are able to get results. So this might be a carryover from Harbaugh. Sharon Moore seems to be able to push the right buttons. Even Biff Poggi, those couple of games they were in there. They won a couple of those games at the end last year where they didn't have much of a quarterback. In fact, they beat SC last year when Orgy was still at quarterback, and Michigan only had 32 passing yards. They just ran the whole game. And Bryce Underwood is getting better. He's not there yet, but he's had some big plays in recent weeks. The Nebraska game, he had a long touchdown run, which was a key play in that game. And this is the sort of line of scrimmage team that has given USC a lot of trouble since it joined the Big Ten. A lot of trouble. They don't seem to win games versus teams like this. And they didn't a couple weeks ago at Illinois, and Michigan keeps on winning. And that SC defense, the last couple of weeks, allowing over 30 points versus both Michigan State and Illinois. They couldn't stop Illinois at the end of the game from driving the field to kick a winning field goal. I'm going to take Michigan tomorrow. I think they win this thing outright. And that puts, SC's got Notre Dame after Michigan. And if they, by Halloween, if they're sitting 4-3 or whatever, the pressure is going to start ratcheting up on Lincoln Riley. I'd keep an eye on that.
And does he pull get out of town and a fresh start somewhere? But that fresh start somewhere, you want to be buying the Lincoln Riley at OU, not the one at SC.
Yeah, you're right. And I think he's still at the point, he's pretty marketable. And the transition at SC to the Big Ten. But you're right. I think it is maybe a little bit buyer beware. But they're going to look at those, the Heisman quarterbacks. He's had 3 of them. And then you had Jalen Hurts. Didn't win a Heisman, but that's his quarterback, too. I think there are 5 NFL quarterbacks, because you got to throw Spencer Rattler in there, who were coached by Lincoln Riley in college. So he's still going to have some appeal. But I'm curious, the dynamics at SC, he'd have a massive buyout there. But he's working for a new AD, and they've got a new school president there. And they are, if they lose another one to Notre Dame, and if he has another couple losses later in the year, keep an eye on it.
Mm-hmm. Bruce, UCLA had trouble finding people to tear the goalpost down, but it was the biggest shocker of the college football season. Could you believe that upset over Penn State and really handled them?
They did, and I think they're a live play tomorrow at Michigan State because I'm totally convinced now that the as bad as they looked early was really Deshaun Foster's doing, and well-meaning as he was, but the team just was not organized. And one thing, Tim Skipper is a legitimate coach. Interim all last year at Fresno. He'd actually stepped in once before that at Fresno. Got them bowl eligible last year. And a lot of people in the Central Valley thought he was going to get the job full time. Instead, they went and hired Matt Entz, who had been at North Dakota State. but they're much more organized. And I will say this about Nico. Watching him, it just sort of hit me last week that we're watching the closest thing to Colin Kaepernick, at least on the field, since Kaepernick was at Reno. I mean, the similarities between Nico's game and Kaepernick's game are unbelievable. If you look the way they look, the way they're built, the way they play, the running, the passing, I mean, it's like he has cut the same style as Kaepernick. And Michigan State, listen, they had 2 backdoor covers these last 2 games, but before that, 8 straight point spread losses. They failed to cover their last 7 as chalk, and they had to pull Childs late in the game last week against Nebraska. I mean, there's some rumbling going on at East Lansing. This is not a good situation with Michigan State. UCLA +9, I'll take the Bruins.
That could be a fun one tomorrow. Red River tomorrow afternoon at the Cotton Bowl, Oklahoma and Texas. Right now, Texas a 1.5-point favorite coming off that loss against Florida. Oklahoma, John Mateer, will he play? Won't he play? It's looking like he might try to give it a go tomorrow for this one. What do you got in this one?
It really depends, Bryant, about Mateer. So I've sort of had to cool on this because I was thinking early in the week, if it's Hawkins in there, as much as Texas is disappointed, I was going to give Texas a look because, one, Hawkins played in this game last year and did absolutely almost nothing. At 34-3 Texas. He quarterbacked the bowl game. They lost that against Navy. It looked too bad. And they did win a game at Auburn last year when he didn't have to do much. He didn't do much at all, and they won. But I mean, the cut down, the drop off from Mateer is pretty steep. If Mateer is back in there, and this is quite a quick recovery from that hand surgery, they thought that's a month, and we're talking just a little over 2 weeks. And if he is like he was before, it's a different look for Oklahoma. And that defense, Brent Venables has a defense this year, and they're going to get right on top of Arch. Boy, I tell you what, I'm feeling like we got sold a real bill of goods on Arch, and I don't want to completely dismiss him yet because we've seen a few glimpses of what he was supposed to be. But for the most part, I mean, what a disappointment. His pocket presence, his mechanics, decision-making just don't look all that good. And like I said, a few glimpses of it, and, maybe still give Sarkisian the benefit of the doubt, but you wonder who's to blame for all this. Is it social media? Is it Peyton? Is it Eli? Is it Sarkisian? National media? Whatever. I mean, we really got sold a bill of goods. So I'm a little reluctant on Texas because of that. But they do. If they lose this game, I mean, the season is effectively over. They're not out of the SEC race yet. They lose this one, it's going to be very, very tough. That's 2 losses in SEC play. The one defense for Texas is those losses at the Big Horseshoe against Ohio State and at the Swamp against the desperate Florida. 2 tough places to play. So maybe I'm being a little too harsh on Texas, but I mean, this was the preseason number 1. They're supposed to win games like that. I am going to still take Texas tomorrow, though. 20-16. I actually might like the under here the most because I think Venables does have a real defense this year, and I still think Texas's defense is better than it showed last week against Florida. And if Mateer, for some reason, isn't 100%, or they have to go back to Hawkins, Oklahoma will struggle to score. We'll see.
Bruce, we are thinking a lot alike on that game, but I'm with you on the assessment of Arch. Tell me the one discernible talent you've really seen. What's the best thing that he does?
I can't name that for you right now, because I haven't seen it. If he has time, I have seen him put some passes right on the dime, but that's absent, like getting any pressure. Because when he's had pressure, I don't think his pocket presence, I don't think he feels pressure that well coming in. And he doesn't seem to, his pocket presence really is shaky. And you can't, I mean, if you got time to throw and you got receivers open, then a lot of quarterbacks are going to look good. So I still need to see a lot more for Arch before I get on that bandwagon. I'm not there now, and I don't think many people are.
I asked that of somebody that I really respect their football knowledge, and he said his running ability. I said, okay, great. We're going to run the wishbone?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. And Yeah, he runs. Yeah, okay, running. He's not that fast though. He does. I mean, his sense of running not too bad, but they're not running a wishbone. And that offense they got has been hard to watch. It really has.
Yeah.
Tell me how the private equity in the Big Ten's going to work. How do the private equity bankers get their money back?
Well, this is the way they're doing this, and I'm trying to decipher this. This is a little bit different than some of the private equity that I was hearing some of the programs were going to do. And in that case, I think they do sort of you do it. I mean, equity means who's putting the money up,
right?
And can be owner. The way they're structuring this apparently is that the Big Ten is still going to be the owner of the equity, and there is something about the way the institutions and finance that I haven't quite figured out how it's working yet. But this doesn't seem to be the sort of private equity that I was thinking about in the summer when I heard like UCLA and a few schools were toying with that. This is almost like the equity holders are still going to be the schools in the Big Ten. So they've set up a different business entity, and I think that's how it works. I got to research this a little bit more, but I think they're the ones. It's their capital, I think, and it's just a different pile of money that they're using, if I'm reading this right, but I could be wrong about that. I have to research this a little bit more. But it is, if the Big Ten does this, rest assured you're going to see other conferences are doing it too. But they're talking about a lot of money and then doling out a big check to all those schools right off the bat. So it's a big money deal. We'll see how it works.
One more local interest pick: Tennessee minus 9.5 at Neyland over Arkansas. And can you believe Bobby Petrino on the sideline as the head hog?
Wow. I heard, he's he came in there and he's fired some coaches, and Trump is so impressed he may put him in the administration and take Elon's place at Doge. He's really come in there.
Well, Doge got quiet quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
It did. The numbers come down a little bit here, and we'll see. I don't think. Some people I've talked to think, wow, Petrino's going to get this job. If he does well. First of all, he's not going to do that well. And second, even if he did, I can't see any scenario where he would be the guy that Arkansas hires from what went on in the past. He is there for what now is an interim, and I think that's all he could be. The defense really fell apart, and that's one of the changes he's made. Got a different coordinator defensively. But before the season began, I would have thought Arkansas plus 9.5 or 10, or even in the first 2 weeks of September, might be worth a look here. But something about the Petrino thing, I don't know that he's going to be an elixir. Tennessee has looked pretty darn good, and they can score in a hurry. I think this game's probably over, going over the total, and it's up there. You got to get high 60s to get over, but I think it will, and I think Tennessee probably gets there like 48-31, something like that.
What is your favorite game or games in college football this weekend?
I like Clemson a lot. They're playing 14 at Boston College, and this isn't as much love in Clemson, though I could see a mild recovery by Clemson in the second half of the season here. And they're not completely out of the ACC race. They need a lot of things to go right, and they've already got 2 conference losses. But that was they could have scored 70 points on North Carolina last week. Talk about a mess, North Carolina. But Dabo showed a lot of restraint last week, and he took the foot off the accelerator after the first quarter. But there's still some good football to be left for Clemson against some teams they can beat. And this is a team they can beat. Boston College, this thing has unraveled completely at Boston College. And Bill O'Brien, not the most pleasant guy to work for. And that atmosphere must be really bad. 48-7 against Pitt last week, and they scored really late to avert a shutout. He used 3 quarterbacks last week. Lonergan put up some pretty good numbers early in the season. Passing the ball. He was one of the guys who got pulled. That's not good. They can't run. This is one of the worst running teams in the country. Defense, they're worried about the depth. They have injury problems. And the schedule just gets tougher from here on out. I mean, they have lost every game since the opener against Fordham, and they're getting run. They got really run last week by Pitt. I'm going to give Clemson a shot, and I will lay the points there. One other one out in the Mountain West up in Reno. This is one of these spots. I'm not convinced on San Diego State's 4-1 record. I can't believe they're that good. I think they've hit some teams just right. Colorado State's a mess. That was a horrible game against Northern Illinois. And Cal just has this tendency to disappear. Like it did against Duke last week. We saw it against the Aztecs a few weeks ago. They're laying 7.5 in Reno. Nevada has found a quarterback, a freshman, Carter Jones. He's given them a downfield passing game. They had none of that the first month of the season with their two quarterbacks, Purdy and Blanco. Jones is actually, it looks like he could be pretty good, and they are turning the keys to the offense to him. That defense hasn't been bad. They got a couple running backs they're playing hard. They just had no quarterback. Now they got a quarterback, I think. And
well, their best quarterback's in Memphis.
Yeah, and that's right. And Brendan Lewis, we saw last year what he did, and now what he's doing at Memphis. So they got a quarterback now. And I think they stay within 7.5. That might be an upset. That's a late night kickoff tomorrow at Reno. That's the latest game on the card tomorrow night. So 9:30 p.m. Central Time, you can watch in Memphis.
Yeah, late one to wrap up your Saturday night. Bruce, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend. Good luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you again next Friday.
Thank you, boys. Thank you much.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you so much, Bruce.
Bruce Marshall joining us, talk all the action tomorrow. Make sure, go and check him out, get his picks, Vegas Insider, CBS Sports, a couple other places where you can find his picks. And Brad, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He likes Nevada tomorrow. I'll just go ahead and put it out there. San Diego State was my lock for this week, Friday Football
Okay,
Forecast.
so you're giving that out about an hour
You'll
early.
hear that in about an hour. But I just want to go ahead and put it out there that I'm not feeling as good about it as I did.
You're up against Bruce,
earlier.
and Bruce up against Allen on the Arkansas-Tennessee total.
That's right. He likes the over. Allen likes the under. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll have a little bit of a showdown this weekend amongst all of us. Well, let's see if we have more of a showdown in our next segment, because we got to get to a break. When we return, Brad Bellamy from Landers Ford, he'll join us. He'll give us his weekly Landers locks. That comes your way next on Sports Time.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar based. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to baste or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Hi, this is Greg Gaston with Sports 56 Radio. I'm sure you've heard the name NST Law. They've been a trusted name in Memphis for as long as I can remember. And to back that claim up, my family has hired NST Law both times we've been involved in an accident. NST has been standing up for folks in Memphis and the Mid-South community for 3.5 decades. They've won billions for people. That's with a B. And that's real numbers for real families like mine. If you've been hurt and it wasn't your fault, NST knows exactly how to fight back. If the insurance company offers you a check fast, hold up. Call NST first and make sure it's fair. You may not need a lawyer today, but if someone you love gets hurt in Memphis, tell them to call NST. They've helped generations of families in Memphis, and they'll treat yours like their own. You know the jingle. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000. That's 683-7000. Or visit nstlaw.com.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporting luxury. Test drive one at Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun, 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
This traffic report brought to you by Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road, where great food meets the big game.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Busy, right on schedule through certain sections of Midtown, but it's moving at the moment. I-40 as we check it out live here at Chelsea. 40's trying to build at Danny Thomas, especially going westbound on the I-40 bridge, working your way back over into West Memphis. Moving right now, 240 on to 385 Bill Morris Parkway. It'll get heavy soon enough. Weimer's Jewelry is your full-service, family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. Check them out this weekend at Weimer's Jewelry. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
And she says, I wish that I could.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk some more wagering. Joining us now from Landers Ford, Brad Bellamy joins us now. Brad, how's everything going out at Landers?
Man, things are great, guys. It's great to be with you on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Brett, I'm glad you're back.
Glad to be back. Glad to be back. It is so nice. I don't want to be inside. we should be outside doing this show out on the lot at Landers Ford in Collierville.
We should be. We would need some probably a little bit of windbreaker on the microphone to make sure everybody can hear us. But I mean, you know, it's a gorgeous weekend. It's a great day. We got folks coming back from fall break, realizing it's time for a new ride. We got folks about to leave for fall break that are trying to get something done right before they leave. And got a lot going on out here at Landers this weekend. Really excited about the different programs we have, some good APR rates. And, you know, we got Escapes under $25,000. We got F-150s with over $10,000 off with 3.9% financing for 72 months. We still got that 0% offers out there on the electric vehicles, both Mustang Mach-E and Lightning. And, Brett, at some point in time, I need you to come out here and take a ride with me so you can see what it's like to feel the pick-me-up of an electric all Mustang Mach-E.
I know that's what you drive because, you know, one day in the parking lot you pulled up and I went, your car's not running. And you said, no, they don't make any noise.
That's right. It's a beautiful thing. I can sneak up on anybody.
You really can. And you mentioned those rates, and also this time of year, Brad, we know 26 is starting to arrive, good deals on 25s. From now through the end of the year, this is car buying season.
Car buying season, great programs come out from Ford, and just really excited about our inventory right now, what we got. And the Expeditions couldn't be hotter. We continue to see the residual effect from the golf tournament, both with Expedition and Explorer. And, you know, as we talked about, guys continue to be a leader in both those vehicle lines, and not only in Memphis but the entire region. So, you know, the deals we got are kind of like the picks out there this weekend, guys. There's so many to choose from. It's hard to highlight which 4 I want to talk about.
Grab you one. I like to say a price point for everybody. There's a game out there for everybody, but I know you're sweating your Detroit Tigers tonight, but you have Scoopel going tonight against the Mariners, a win away from being in the ALCS.
There's not a single person I'd rather have on the mound than Mr. Scoopel this evening.
In the sport.
Yeah.
His over-under on strikeouts tonight is 9.5. I mean, that's insane. 9.5 strikeouts is an over-under for someone in playoff baseball. But, man, I'm excited for the Tigers. I think they're in a great spot. He played very, very well in Game 1, and I'm looking forward to him delivering tonight and hopefully, bringing another ALCS opportunity to Detroit. And, haven't been World Series champs since 1984. So at that point in time, I was 3 years old and not even rooting for the Tigers. But now it's all changed. So.
I remember 84 well, Brad. That was a great LCS and a World Series. Really, they put it on San Diego. Tigers could potentially, well, they will, if they win, they will face Toronto. They've met in the postseason before. The over and under on the game, you mentioned Scooball, the over and under on the game's 5.5. I mean, they're expecting one run could go a long way tonight.
That's right. And it's interesting, too, because if you look at the matchup, the Tigers' starting lineup has hit pretty well against Kirby for the Mariners. So I think 3 of their top 4 batters are over 350 or 400 against them lifetime. Wow. So I think the Tigers got an opportunity to put some folks on base. Whether they can convert is a different story. I mean, it's kind of been a all pitching series for the Tigers, and maybe you squeak out a couple of runs to win a game. So very different from some of the other ALCS. I mean, the Blue Jays or the Dodgers for that matter. So it'll be a fun night. We got some college football tonight too. So we got 3 games on the slate, at least FBS games, and then guys, like I said, tomorrow it's every weekend. I just get so excited about the opportunities that are in front of us.
And how they space it out 11 until after midnight. There are games all day. In the TV ratings last weekend, Bama Vandy beat Miami and FSU last week.
Roll Tide, roll. Who would have ever thought that? Like, you say that 3 years ago, you could have won a lot of money on a drinking bet.
Brad, we remember when Bama and Vandy early in the year was that opening weekend, maybe second weekend in September, JP 11:30 game.
or back when ESPN started the Thursday night games, it was an early Thursday night game when everybody was watching. So, man, Jefferson Pilot Sports, those were the days. I like Alabama this weekend. I hope I don't regret it because I've been so off on them. But it's like at this point, are they acting like it's a 10-point spread difference between Alabama on the road and Alabama at home? Yeah. Because I feel like if this game is in Tuscaloosa, Alabama's at least a 10-point favorite. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's a repeat of last year.
I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. That line is real low, which tells me they still have a lot of question marks about Alabama's ability to play on the road, which rightfully so. I mean, maybe it's they can beat Georgia, they can beat LSU, but if Ty Simpson plays well in this game, I think he gives himself a great opportunity as a front runner for the Heisman. And,
so is that one of your locks, Bama?
That is one of my locks.
Okay.
That is one of my locks. Alabama -2.5. If I do not win this one, guys, I cannot pick Alabama the rest of the year. Because as an Alabama fan, to pick them is a dangerous thing. That's why I didn't pick Memphis last week against Tulsa. I liked them, but I didn't pick them.
And it was easy.
I made the bad choice. I felt good all day, man. I was 3-0 in my Landers lock. Mississippi State's up 7. Up 3-0 in the first quarter. I'm like, all right, 7-3 at halftime. We're still in this. No problem. 16.5, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mississippi State couldn't do anything except turn the ball over. So
So I was 3-1 last week. We won't talk about the NFL. I blame you, Brett, for not being here.
It's on me. I'll take the hit, Brad. I took the week off, and we took the week off in the NFL. But that NFL can get hard to pick. You're going to have those rugged NFL weeks.
It looked good up until 20 seconds left in that Kansas City game to at least get one snuck out win. But
it was 14-0 to start.
Yeah. But then that's what happens. I mean, same thing with. I didn't pick them last week, but I had the Cardinals as my survivor pool team.
Oh,
and, man, that was if there's a video on how you can blow a game, I would say that would be the highlight one.
That was the prototype of how to blow a game. But you were 3-1 in college last week, so finish off with your college picks. Bama's your first one.
Bama's my first one. Arizona State at night, going to Utah. Anywhere it's 9.5 or 8.5. I got it at 8.5, but I've now seen 9.5 out there posted as well.
We'll give you 8.5.
I think anything over, a touchdown. Arizona State's a good football team. Texas Tech went to Utah, manhandled them. It wasn't even close. So I don't understand why that spread's such a big number.
We'll give you 9.5.
Yeah,
I might understand. Sunday morning at 12:05 a.m. when the game is over. But right now it looks like a very juicy line. I'm going to stay in the Big 12. Texas Tech has been on a roll. I'm not going to take the spread. I'm going to take the over, 58.5 points. Kansas offense has been able to score. Texas Tech's offense has been scoring on everyone, even against bad defense, against good defenses. They've been able to put up 34, 35 points. So I'm going to go over 58.5 in the Texas Tech Kansas game out in Lubbock. And then the other game I'm gonna take is Oregon Indiana in Eugene over 53.5. So that's my 4 Wanders locks. But guys, there was a lot of debate back and forth in my heart about which other ones to take. But those are my 4 for this week.
And in the NFL?
In the NFL, since I went 0-3 last week, I'm going to give our fans playing at home something else to give them positive vibes and better betting. All right, we're going touchdown bets this week.
Okay.
Forget the spread in the NFL. I never have done well historically, but I do very well on touchdowns. A guy that I've been riding for the last 2 weeks, I cannot believe that his odds are where they're at right now. Darren Waller had 2 touchdowns week 1. He had a touchdown last week and was 2 his main targets. He's over 250, plus 250, anywhere from plus 250 to 300 to score a touchdown this week. So give me Darren Waller all day. He's going to score again 100% in his games this year. He's going to keep it rolling this week. Another guy that's been absolutely phenomenal, only 1 game all season where he hasn't scored a touchdown. Godwin's out. Mike Evans is out. Emeka Ibuka keeps scoring touchdowns, guys. Plus 115 to plus 30, depending on the site. So I'm going to take him as a touchdown scorer. And then Tyler Warren, 2 weeks in a row, either running it or receiving it, putting up touchdowns for the Indianapolis Colts. So I'm going to take him at plus 150. I figure, you bet these individually, guys, you're getting positive money all over the place. Yeah. Waller hits, you're already over for the weekend. So
you are.
So we'll see how this one goes, Brett. And if it goes well, we'll keep doing this. If it doesn't, then I'll revert back to spreads. But for this week, we'll do a little touchdown bets and see how it rolls.
Brad, I love this. And for Tyler Warren, you think Penn State misses him?
I think Penn State's missing a lot right now.
They are.
They
miss Bo Pribula. I think their quarterback's at Mizzou.
Yeah.
I mean, I could not believe how far. I mean, unbelievable that UCLA game last week. That's something Franklin does not do that, right? Like James Franklin wins that game 100% of the time. He does not lose against inferior competition ever.
No, and you knew late in the game when they had that comeback. Okay, they're gonna score late here. They're gonna win it, and they just couldn't find the end zone. It was very, very uncommon for James Franklin. Well, Brad, before we let you go, tell us one more time about what y'all have got going on over there at Landers and what people can expect when they come out there this weekend.
Man, we got a full staff on slate. We got the games going on the TVs. We got a great inventory selection, F-150s, all the way from SCX to Platinums. We got them on the ground. We just picked up a couple of King Ranch F-150s, which have been hard to come by. And all of those come with 2.9 for 60, 3.9 for 72 interest rate with approved credit through Ford Credit. And just an awesome deal. And another thing, guys, don't forget about our pickup and delivery service and mobile service. We want to meet you where you want to be met on the service end. So whether it's coming to your house or bringing it here, we want to take care of our guests wherever they may be. So we're here to take care of everybody, and looking forward to another fun weekend and another great slate. And, I appreciate the time to be on with you guys today.
Absolutely. Brad, we appreciate you so much, and I'll be texting you during the weekend on all this action, all these picks. Thank you so much, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Brad Bellamy joining us for his Landers Locks, telling us a little bit about what they're doing over there at Landers Ford. We talk about it all the time, but I mean, even if you're worried about missing the game, they've got the TVs, they've got it cut on to the football all weekend long. Brad mentioned their pickup service that they offer as well, so they make it as easy as possible for you. So, it'll be a perfect time this weekend. I like these picks, Brett. I think he's got some good picks, and I like these touchdown props that he has as well.
And as always, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
Right. You paid way too much. Well, we need to get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Family Leisure doesn't do anything small. It's always got to be big, just like the world's biggest spa sale. Happening right now at Family Leisure. Check this out. You can get spas starting under $3,000. Spas and even swim spas, they're up to 30% off. Floor model spas have even bigger special prices. Cold plunges are all the trend right now. Take the plunge starting under $5,000. You see a patio furniture set you like? You could get a free umbrella with it. Ask an associate for details. Plus, swimming pools are clearance price now through the end of October. Get yours before the prices increase. That is, with any big sale, special financing, it's available. The only thing small during the world's biggest spa sale at Family Leisure are the prices. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters, 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Listen up, sports fans. Your next winning drive is at Landers Ford in Collierville. That's right. The iconic Landers Easy Pass always delivers more for your trade and their biggest discounts on your next winning drive. See it all now at LandersFordMemphis.com. Plus, when you own a Landers Ford, you get the support of a certified service tech who comes right to your driveway with the Landers Ford Remote Service Experience Program. They'll pick it up, drop it off, or fix it on the spot. At Landers Ford in Collierville, they have a game plan to find you the most savings possible. You can make a trade and possibly lower your payments. They'll even buy your current vehicle even if you don't buy from them. It's a tradition fans all across the Mid-South love. New Fords and quality pre-owned models are arriving every day. Beat the rush. Go see them today in Collierville or online at LandersFordMemphis.com. And now from the 1977 Ole Miss football team that beat number 1 ranked Notre Dame, ladies and gentlemen, the final play of the day comes from President of Landers Ford in Collierville, Don Kitchens.
If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At Fiveash, we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. Fiveash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Merry-go-round in dreams, ride someday. It seems when she sleeps.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Brett, my big number today is the number 2. I hinted at this big number earlier during our first segment, but now I get to throw it out there. Big number is 2. Cities in history to have their NHL team lose, their NFL team lose, and their Major League Baseball team lose in a playoff game that is an elimination game all on the same day. Last night was the second time it has ever happened. Brett, would you care to guess who it happened to the first time? What city did it happen the first time? If Philadelphia was last night, who did it happen to first?
Got to be New York.
Philadelphia!
Oh, no.
Back on October 16th, 1983, it happened again, so history repeats itself.
That was Phillies in the World Series against the Orioles in 83.
How about that? So, yeah, another night of despair for Philadelphia sports fans.
Not a popular big number with our friend Pat Donahue.
No,
he just sent in, I hate that big number.
I'm sorry, Pat. I knew it was going to make him mad, but it was too good. I had to go with it.
Poor Philly.
Oh, it's bad. It's really bad.
That baseball loss, that's one that I have you fussing and cussing all winter.
I don't care about the Phillies at all, and that one hurt me last night.
Because I think they had a shot to win it all.
I think so, too.
You got a lot of runway left with the hockey.
Oh, yeah. No, first game of the
season. They just won a Super Bowl,
yeah,
so you can't be too mad.
No, those other two, whatever, but oof.
I may have to go group lock when all of us and all our pickers so far.
Yeah.
Bama is the common denominator.
It sure has been. Yeah,
Alan Bell likes the over, and Brad and Bruce both like the Tide.
Yeah, wow. So we'll see if that continues
we'll see what we
in
like.
Friday Football Forecast. That's right.
In just a little bit. My big number is 4. 4 straight for the Razorbacks over Tennessee, including last year when Tennessee was a college football playoff team.
Yeah.
If Arkansas makes it 5 straight, then Bobby Petrino could be on his way to keeping that job. That would be a big one in any math. I don't know what the math is, 2, 3, 4, But if you get Tennessee, that makes the math a lot easier. And with that loss and then a third Saturday in October loss next week for Josh Heupel, no job being severed at all. Honeymoon over.
Yeah. No, it will be.
And he's had a long one.
Yes, he's had a long one. It's been
Deserved.
good. Yeah, no, it's been really good. But yeah, tomorrow could be a big one on a lot of different levels for both sides here, and for this Arkansas team. I mean, if you can do it again and have that big upset this time on the road, last year a little easier being at home, but if you can pull that off on the road, then yeah, I mean, maybe you start talking about Petrino, and maybe if he has a future of being the head coach. Ugh,
now,
scary world.
At Louisville, he got a second chance, but it was permanent. This is interim. He's trying to get the second shot as permanent.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
Risky. I don't know if I would, even with a win at Tennessee, if I would even want to consider it. But, there will be excitement there if they pull that win.
We know who will know.
No.
Coming up in 6 minutes.
He's the guy to ask. What does a win here do? And we will definitely ask him here in this next segment. That's because Ty Richardson. How about Ty Richardson? I saw, I believe last night was in Nashville at the Predators game, and then went over to Knoxville today. I'm pretty sure I saw that he was at the Predators game last night. So he got some hockey in last night, and then your Preds. You don't turn your back on the Preds like you.
I've got a Western Conference team and an Eastern Conference team.
What is there ever a point where you will turn your back on Nashville? For as much as we're supposed to hate Nashville.
Oh yeah,
you love Nashville.
Our Preds own the Grizzlies Predators FanDuel network. Our Preds.
Right, yeah, you catch it all there, and they it's soon when we get all the cross promoting on the broadcast, and Friday night the Predators in action right here. So yeah, it's that time of year, which is always a lot of fun.
A lot of hockey left, isn't it?
Ooh, Brett.
Like the whole season.
Yeah, well, I was jumping up and down, cracking one late last night, and then I was like, well, that was fun.
Oh, you got your W?
Got a W, so that was fun to watch. But no, a lot of hockey left in the season, and a lot of football left still for those Philly fans. They can certainly turn it around. But yeah, we're going to talk Arkansas in our next segment. Ty Richardson going to join us. We'll get his thoughts on that game tomorrow and what he thinks a win would do for Bobby Petrino. But before we get to this break, Memphis is known for the barbecue, and you can get that world-famous Memphis-style barbecue any day at the commissary. Awarded the best barbecue in the city in the Commercial Appeals Best Barbecue in Memphis 2025 Bracket Showdown. Visit either location in Germantown and Collierville and get it for lunch or for dinner. Stop in at the Collierville location and try the new all-you-can-eat buffet. Available Monday through Friday. Pick and choose between 3 proteins, 5 sides, a salad, and a drink, all for just $15.95. For more than 40 years, the commissary has been a staple in this area, and a big reason is because of the quality of food they serve. My go-to, it's the ribs, but it's hard to resist that barbecue shoulder. Get it chopped or pulled and get it by the plate or by the pound. It comes in handy with the sandwich packs. Feed the whole group with a 6-pack, 8-pack, even a 12-pack, and don't forget about that dessert like the delicious banana pudding, brownie, or the lemon icebox pie. Check out the entire menu and catering options at commissarybbq.com. Whether it's a watch party for your favorite team or maybe tonight heading out tailgating before the high school football action, let the commissary cater your next event. It's hard to believe, but the holidays will be here before you know it, so let the commissary help you with those events. They can cater for any size party and check out their private party rooms, perfect for any holiday celebration. For Thanksgiving, the commissary smokes up the perfect turkey and spiral ham. It's never too early to order and get on that list. Stop in today, though, at either location in Germantown, open daily until 8 p.m., and in Collierville, open till 9 p.m. for that world-famous Memphis-style barbecue at the commissary. Well, let's get to another break, wrap up this second hour. When we return, we're talking the Razorbacks and the SEC with Ty Richardson.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
Founded in 1991 by lifelong law enforcement officers, ProTech Security can perform all security services for personal or corporate clients. Uniformed armed guard, plainclothes officers, neighborhood patrols, violence in the workplace, event and party security, dignitary protection, and alarm response. Licensed and insured in Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee. They are currently looking for armed security officers, retired law enforcement, and military personnel especially. Premium pay and no limit on hours worked. If interested, give them a call at ProTech Security, 901-274-3400.
It's takeover time, and you'll know when. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and the takeover time I mentioned is when your house has been on the market for so long and you want somebody to come in, take over, properly market it, and get it sold. People often say when you want the job done, call Sheldon, because I have a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in what you make and when. It involves preparation before you go on the market, along with proper presentation and accurate pricing based on our ever-changing market and rates, and being made aware of what's going on around you so you can make intelligent decisions, not merely guessing. Call me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com and let me take your listing over and get it sold. I may be lousy at golf, but I sure do sell some homes. Call me, Sheldon Rosengarten, 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com.
You know what I love about Central Barbecue? They pay you to do their radio commercials. Well, yeah, but what I really love about Central Barbecue is I'm proud to do their radio commercials. Really? You should put more effort into it. I'm proud to represent the very best barbecue in Memphis, and therefore the best barbecue in the world. Wait, what'd you say? Nothing. I'm proud to do the Central Barbecue ads, too. Believe me, I've done some ads for companies that really weren't the very best in their business. I know the ones you're talking about. No, you don't. That was a long time ago. If you say so. But doing ads for Central Barbecue means being able to say, honestly, it's a great product at a great price. With lots of great locations. This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Building pretty good now on 240, especially southbound at South Parkway, as that traffic finally starts to pick up here in the Midtown area. Moving south of Memphis, busy, but moving with that steady flow of traffic on 55 down through South Haven as it increases, of course, this time of the afternoon, especially for a Friday on 240 getting on to 385 Bill Morris Parkway. Zips Car Wash is where I go, and so should you this weekend. Get upgraded shine and protection at your local Zips Car Wash, zipscarwash.com for a location near you. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios, we are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
All right, back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour on this Friday afternoon. We talked a little bit about it in our last segment with Brett's big number, but we got to talk the Razorbacks, and we do it with Ty Richardson.
Time to talk Razorbacks on Sports Time. Joining the guys is Ty Richardson from ESPN Arkansas to talk all things Hogs and SEC. On Twitter X at Ty Sports Radio, here's Ty Richardson with Bryant and Brett.
Come on, all you Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those Hogs!
Ty Richardson joins us from ESPN Arkansas to talk the Razorbacks and the SEC. Ty, thanks so much for joining us. You're up in Knoxville for the game tomorrow. If I saw it right, you saw some hockey last night, the Nashville Predators.
Yeah.
How'd you enjoy that? Saw Nashville win.
Man, 2-1. Good start for the Preds after a bad last season. It was fun. Hockey's just a really entertaining sport. But I'm hoping, guys, we see some sort of entertainment tomorrow in Nealon.
Yeah. Should get a while when Ty just gave my big number of the day. 4 straight for the Razorbacks. against Tennessee. I know every time they play there, and I'm going to bring it up a little bit later, every time they play there, we talk about the Sterner stumble. Boy, that was one of the that was up there with Big Shootout on the heartbreaking, crushing sports pain level.
Yeah, you think about where that team was the previous season and the expectations placed upon them in the preseason. All of a sudden, they're undefeated. They're about to win against one of the best teams in college football, a team that obviously went on to win the national championship, and that happens. But that's just Arkansas in a nutshell, guys. There's always seems to be something that gets pulled out from under us, and that's just one of the many instances of the case.
That day, CBS ran the graphic that, next week on CBS, Arkansas, and then, because of Tennessee winning, Arkansas fell to the JP game playing in Starkville that they ultimately lost that game, and Tennessee's game was elevated. But CBS ran the graphic expecting, everybody thought Arkansas had won.
Yeah, I was unaware of that until you said it. I know that didn't have a kicker there because of a certain incident that happened either the weekend before or the week of. And so,
Todd Lotterette.
Yeah, and so it was just a tough situation. The emotional, like people talk out about how emotionally crippling losses can be like that, and obviously it leads into the week after, and it's just a bummer because that season, I mean, all the talent they had, obviously headlined by the late Brandon Burlsworth, and for them to come up that short in Knoxville and then obviously do what they did in Starkville is pretty tough.
What are your listeners? What are the Razorback faithful? What do they expect the rest of the year?
I think it's just they're hoping. I don't know if they're expecting stats and Bryant, but they're hoping that this team actually plays with heart and effort. It was funny, like following the Notre Dame game, you saw these players like put out stuff on social media. It's like, guys, if you felt that way, you should have played harder for your coach. And I mean, there's always been accountability with college football players, but these guys are getting paid, and that's something that, like, you think about since July of 21 and the changes in just how we view college athletics. We've talked about it before on the show. It's like it's more professional now. So I think the expectation from fan stats is to just play with more effort. I don't know if that boils down to a number. We kind of set it at 1.5. I don't know if I can go over that. I think they can beat Mississippi State. I don't know if there's another game on their schedule. I'm like, yeah, they're going to go win that game. Just hoping for a valiant effort from both sides of the football tomorrow.
I set it at 1.5, and I went under the rest of the way. I did have Arkansas in the preseason winning 6, but it's just too much chaos now. And you're right about those players, and it's not just at Arkansas, and it's not just college football. I think these players, I know these players now. They want the jargon. They want the wordsmith world of professional. My agent, playing time, everything, all the buzzwords that go with the professional leagues, and the money that goes with the professional leagues. Then when they get a lot of stuff back out on social media, or booing, or fan discontent, they want to go back to, well, you're booing a 20-year-old. No. You can't have it both ways. You can't be that innocent 20-year-old, somebody's baby, and going to econ class on Monday and then saying, I need more money, or I'm not going to the bowl game.
Yeah, I think, like you said, it cuts both ways, and that's one of the things you learn growing up with being a young man. It's like, and a young woman too. Don't want to pull them out, but it's part of it. Like, there's good times and bad, and how you persevere through some of these bad times and get through it is awful telling. I mean, when it comes to character, it's more about what you do when no one's looking, or when things are bad, than what you do when everything's peaceful and harmonious. And right now, this team is looking down the barrel of an under 500 season. I think they might be looking down the barrel of an 0-7 finish, and it's just going to matter if these guys come together. And listen, Arkansas fans aren't asking them to win 5 games of their next 7, but just to show a little more life. And if you are in a moment where you can win a game, guys, close it out. Figure it out. Just find a way to win one of these games.
Yeah, and the shoulda, coulda at Ole Miss, at Memphis, and if they win both of those, you just wonder, how different the dynamic would be on the the Q word on the quit against Notre Dame. It was more defense than offense, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the offense didn't score in the second half. Like, people want to rip on the defense, and you can do that. I mean, 56 points, you're warranted. But, guys, the offense has scored 10 points in the last 3 halves. 7 against Ole Miss, 3 against Memphis, 0 against Notre Dame. So they're getting, progressively worse, at least in the second half, based on scoring. And that's if you do that, if you do that tomorrow where I'm at Knoxville, you're going to lose by 28 points.
Yeah.
Because Tennessee's not going to have a lapse. They're going to keep scoring. Joey Aguilar, at least statistically, is the best quarterback in the SEC, number one scoring offense, number one passing offense. Doesn't mean he necessarily is, but you can't have these little moments tomorrow where you have a bad drive or a bad quarter. Will they have a successful 4 quarters offensively? I don't know. I tend to think they'll play better in the second half, but I still got Tennessee win this game by 10 points tomorrow, guys, 45-35.
Ty, we know Bobby Petrino wants this job. He wants to become the permanent head coach for the Razorbacks again. What would a win tomorrow at Tennessee do for the fan base in terms of wanting him to be the permanent head coach?
Well, I think, Brian, people would immediately, who aren't on the fence, be like, okay, maybe we need to reconsider this. Because, to go into an opponent like Tennessee, 100,000-plus fans in attendance tomorrow, Josh Heupel, they've lost 1 game all season to a really good Georgia team by 3 points, and they probably should have won that game if not for a kicker miscue. It's a massive win. And stats, you brought it up, 4 straight against the Vols. This would be 5. They also would have 6 of the last 7. Tennessee's a better program than Arkansas, but to have that over them would be pretty nice.
It sure would be. And last year it was the win of the year for the Razorbacks, and that was against a college football playoff team. That wasn't a little scruffy 7-5 Tennessee team.
Yeah, Tennessee lost 3 games to the Ohio State Buckeyes, the eventual national champions, the Georgia Bulldogs, who they haven't beat since 2016 with Josh Dobbs, and Arkansas. Guys, pick which one's not like the other 2. I think we know.
Doesn't that kind of define Sam Pittman?
Yeah, I think that they got like 1 big win a year under Coach Pittman. You could argue maybe year 1 getting 3 SEC wins. Texas and A&M in 21 was great, but after that it was Ole Miss in 22, it was Florida in 23, and it was Tennessee last year. So I think that's one of the biggest wins of his tenure. Texas 21 was the biggest, but to have that top 5 win at home was a lot of fun last year in Fayetteville, no question.
All right, give me leaks, rumors, stuff around the coaching search. I know Hunter Yurchek, and this is a real smart move, hiring a consulting firm. And what that does is that shields you from any freedom of information stuff. You kind of the search, and they are the search firm is handling it. So then nothing's FOIable. But is he going to have a committee? Is he going to rely on 1 or 2 big hitters, or is this one man having to land the right guy? Because if he doesn't get this one right, I can't believe how patient people are being about him. But if he doesn't get this right and quickly, then he's going to follow the next guy out for sure, or maybe lead.
And stats on that note, it seems like the Board of Trustees is, at least from the outside looking in, trusted him to make this decision. And then in addition to that, when he was asked about, "Are you the one that's going to lead and make the search?" he said, "I think he said, I'm paraphrasing, I haven't been told otherwise, but there are Razorback fans that are worried that he's going to make the wrong decision again." And I want to say again, he was in a no-win situation in 2019. If Lane Kiffin took the Ole Miss job and decided to pick Oxford over Fayetteville, which based on what's happened, I don't blame him, then you're like, okay, where do we go next? And there weren't a lot of available options with Barry Lunny and him. And now you're just sitting here 5.5 years later and having to make another decision. And the program's in a better state. I don't know how much better it is than it was after Chad Morris in 2019, but it is better. It's still, it just depends on how much money they can compile and raise with big time donors, because you have to make this job appealing. If the recruiting base is not going to be here, which it's not, you have to make this job appealing to bring prospective big time coaches to consider coaching in Fayetteville.
Taylon Green, a lot of talk about him preseason, last season, even this year. What do you want to see from him coming off the week off and kind of through this second half of the season? What do you want to see from the quarterback?
I want to see Taylor make less mistakes. He didn't necessarily have him in the Notre Dame game, the Memphis game. You had plays. The 2 interceptions were. One of them was just like, okay, he's trying to force in Omega Blake. The other one was like, well, what are you looking at? I think it's the turnover prone. I mean, he's got, I think, 5 picks on the year, similar to Joey Aguilar. You can't have those. And if you're Taylon Green, you don't have a luxury that some of these other quarterbacks in the league do, where you have a defense that can back you up and defend you. Because if you turn the ball over, the opposing offense is probably going to take it down and score. So I would say turnovers, Brian, is the biggest thing you want to see less of from Taylon Green.
And here's what everybody should be on blast and scared of. I know you know this. I know you know this, Ty, but a lot of like all of them. You name any SEC coach and any team he's playing the rest of the year, whether it's Josh Heupel or next week against Mike Elko and A&M, the Old Southwest Conference thing, or Hugh Freeze or Jeff Lebby, any of them. They get a chance to pound Bobby Petrino, kind of, pardon the phrase, for his sins of the past, and he didn't mind running it up on people in the past, and they know I'm not going to face him again, so I can go out and try to humiliate him.
I didn't. That's an angle I hadn't considered, and I mean it could happen. I think anything's on the table. You know how some coaches will say something publicly positive about another coach, or they'll refuse to say that they actually hate the guy. You really don't. When coaches talk about other coaches, you really have no idea if they like one another. You hear what is said in the teleconference or in the local media stuff or everything else. But I'd be curious to see what the impressions of Bobby Petrino were from the other 15 head coaches in this league. And like you said, the opportunity to play him here these next few weeks.
Yeah. On the back to the Q word, the offense and defense, I'm also scared of this. So many of those guys on defense, somebody had to have established a relationship with T. Will and Deke and Woodson. I'm afraid they could really go out there, and especially when it goes a little bit bad early, whether it's tomorrow or next week, and really show Bobby Petrino, yeah, you did this to our coach. Now you play defense, Bobby P.
Yeah, it is a tough situation when you have guys that got let go and that were really liked by the players. But, I mean, it goes back to that's what you were talking about earlier. It's a situation where if you really love these players, there's got to be some accountability stuff with them too, and just hadn't been. So, Petrino's got so many things on his plate right now. And guys, I don't know if his head's necessarily going to be dunked underwater, but he's definitely going to be under as much pressure as he's faced, just with the situation of Arkansas right now and the fact that there's so much turnover with this roster, and not necessarily roster, more the coaching staff roster, I should say.
It happened in 1992 with an interim coach.
Yeah, it did.
Maybe lightning strikes twice. I don't know. Maybe.
Go Tide, baby. We watched I watched that highlight clip this morning. That was pretty remarkable.
Oh wow.
What's the great site that shows all the Razorback highlights? Is it War Machine?
It's so a guy named War Machine. I know his name. I'm just blanking on it.
Oh, it's a great site. So he had the Orlando Waters punt return?
He had all that. It was cool. I saw Bob Tesslin actually when he was doing the
sideline reporter. Yeah,
which I didn't know that. Bob was really gracious with me. He gave me 45 minutes of his time one time when I was a senior in college. But nice. Cool to watch that. I know Tennessee fans don't want to watch it, but I sure enjoyed it.
Barry Lunny, true freshman quarterback that day.
Wow. First start.
Yeah.
Correct. First start.
That's crazy.
And to go into the Neyland Stadium and do that, I mean, dude, that's legendary type thing.
Got Johnny Majors fired. That was the first step of that, and then Majors barely beat Memphis in Memphis later that year. But really, regardless of what happened, it kind of went down in Memphis that Friday night that Fulmer really leveraged that if you don't hire me, I'm going to Auburn and I'll be Pat Dye's successor at Auburn, and that they couldn't dare think of that happening.
Man, I didn't. So I knew there was some sort of like Brutus doing a Caesar thing, but I didn't know the backstory of where Fulmer was going. I bet that was. It's a shame radio wasn't as prominent in it as it is 2025, because that would have been quite a couple segments.
Fulmer wrote the opening to Brutus in the original Brutus. He knew how to play the game.
Oh man, that's
Man.
good stuff. Talking to Ty Richardson. Ty, looking around the SEC, a big one tomorrow at 11, Alabama and Missouri. Alabama, a road favorite. They've been looking good over these last couple of weeks. What do you expect to see in that matchup tomorrow?
Man, I think Eli Drinkwitz and company finally get it done. They've started strong some of these years, and then they play elite competition like Georgia and Alabama and come up short. But I tend to think that he's got something special for them. I mean, Alabama, you think about the wins they've gotten over Vanderbilt and Georgia. They've looked like potentially the best team in the SEC that's not in Oxford, Mississippi. But Missouri's on that list too. So this is a huge game tomorrow for conference rankings, and really for a chance for Eli Drinkwitz to say this is where we have arrived as a football program.
Do the Razorback fans want A&M to come in undefeated next week to Razorback Stadium, or do they want Florida to scratch them up coming into town next week?
I think you want A&M to win. Anytime you can play an undefeated team, and A&M will be a top 5 team when they come into Fayetteville potentially.
Oh yeah.
Depending on how things check out this week. You haven't played them since 2013 at home. That was my freshman year, way back when. I watched Johnny Manziel torch us for 45 points. We lost it 45-33. But I think this game next weekend, if Arkansas can show any sign of life in Knoxville tomorrow, then I think people will be like, okay, I'll give them a chance. And just the fact that A&M potentially could be undefeated, I think, could bring fans to the stadium in what should be a celebration. I mean, Darren McFadden's in town. They're announcing his not enshrinement, but the patch on him. So this should be a fun weekend for Razorback fans with what Darren has meant to the U of A.
And just the third Fayetteville game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to the 5th Ole Miss home game tomorrow. 5 of 8. Next week will be the 3rd for the Razorbacks at home.
Yeah, it's tough. And I know this Tennessee doesn't have a home game the rest of the year in Knoxville. I know Heupel's not too happy about that, but for the Razorbacks to play their first SEC game at home on October, what is that going to be, the 17th, I think?
Yeah.
That is the
18th. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. Or 18th. Yeah, that's tough, man. And that's what happens when you play games in Dallas. I know they don't play that anymore, but obviously in Little Rock. So things will finally shake back out. But they go to Utah next year. So there's just always seems to be tough games for Arkansas. But that's the SEC. You shouldn't complain. I shouldn't complain. That's just life, man.
Yeah. Be careful out there in Knoxville tonight. I know you'll enjoy it tomorrow when the T forms. It is something to see at Neyland. You're not going out to the Yale College Inn tonight, are you? That's where everybody used to go on Friday night.
Man, so that was actually a recommendation that someone sent. I think we're going kind of that neck of the woods. I don't know if we're necessarily eating there and drinking there, but I'm excited. This is my first game day experience here, and obviously we're in Tennessee on the eastern part of the state, so it's an experience that I've been looking forward to.
Go to Calhoun's, go to the Vol Walk. It's big time. They do it right.
You've got so many. You've got so many of these places you've compiled. And
last time I was at Knoxville, they threw stuff at us.
That's true. Yeah, hopefully they won't throw anything at you tomorrow, Ty.
Be careful, Ty.
Yeah, be careful. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you again next Friday.
All right, guys. Always love catching up. Talk to you next Friday.
Right back at you. Thanks, Ty.
We love visiting with you, too. Ty Richardson with us talking Razorbacks. Soon we'll be talking about John Calipari's Razorbacks.
That's right. Yeah, John Calipari. He'll bring his Razorbacks here soon. Yeah. And I think they're having their big kind of Midnight Madness type event this weekend for Arkansas. So they'll be starting to look to basketball and see what Calipari and his guys can do this year.
Ty Richardson brought to you every Friday by our friends at East Memphis Ace Hardware. Shop locally with your friends at East Memphis Ace Hardware at 5143 Quince in the Quince Station Shopping Center, where the nice people are helpful and so very knowledgeable with all their employees. And you need to be part of the customer loyalty program to feel like part of the family. You want that old-fashioned hardware store? We got it. It's what Janelle and Jarrett Carter, it's what they've built and maintained and will keep. Plants, tools, lawnmowers, grills. Did I say grills? The Big Green Egg. That's the real star of college football Saturdays and NFL Sundays. Just get it going tomorrow all day. Traeger grills, gas grills, charcoal grills, flat top grills, Blackstone, Weber, East Memphis Ace Hardware with everything you need to get cooking. They'll set everything up for you, deliver it for you. Knowledgeable advice on how to choose that perfect grill just for you. Outdoor power equipment for all the weekend warriors, and get out there tomorrow in that great weather and get a lot of things done. I did a little bit of that last Saturday. Not a whole lot, but a little. Paint, supplies, tools. I had no tools. There was no tools involved. Decorate your yard for football season with Tigers and all the SEC yard decor. Outdoor living with patio furniture, coolers, all the great brands like Steel, Toro, and Milwaukee. Ace really is the helpful place in East Memphis Ace Hardware, the local friendly place at 5143 Quince in the Quince Station Shopping Center at Quince and White Station.
Well, Ty's really the first person we've talked to today that is going against Alabama. He likes Missouri tomorrow at home, so we'll see if our picks agree with him or agree with everyone else that we've talked with tomorrow. That'll be a game we pick during.
I'm close to getting hot, officially hot on Friday Football Forecast Pick, so look out.
We'll see if this could be the week that you officially get hot. We'll make picks on that game and a lot more. Landon Schmidt, he's going to join us in our next segment to give his picks for the weekend as well, so we'll have him with us in a minute or two. But before we get to a break, let me remind you about our 5 o'clock sponsor. It's Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Jaguar Bluff City has been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984, and their talented team is ready to help you find your next perfect vehicle at unbeatable rates. Swing by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City today and check out the 2025 models like the Range Rover Sport, the Range Rover Velar, and the Defender. Test drive the Range Rover Sport, where luxury meets performance. It's a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility, with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. It's also available as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with $7,500 federal tax credit when leased with approved credit. Take a look at the Range Rover Velar, powered by mild hybrid technology and enhanced with the latest well-being features and fully connected entertainment system. The Range Rover Velar is the ultimate luxury compact crossover. Purchase yours today and get special 4.4% for 72 months financing available with approved credit. Don't forget about the Defender, available in multiple models to fit your needs. The Defender is built for the modern explorer, and Jaguar Bluff City is offering special interest rates for 60 and 72 months on various models. Give them a call, 877-259-6169. Go online to jaguarbluffcity.com, but head out there, test drive these vehicles. 6335 Wheel Cove, just off of Quince, for Bluff City Jaguar. Well, let's get to another break. When we return, it'll be time for us to make our picks, our First National Bank and Trust Friday football forecast. That comes your way next on Sports Time.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied.
Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
You know, sometimes I wish I had a gun.
Well, I'm armed, but before I bought one, I still went to Top Gun Academy to learn to protect myself without a gun.
How is that possible?
Top Gun's personal protection training. It's perfect if you want to protect yourself without firearms.
I don't know.
And it's perfect if you feel the need to carry a gun for self-defense, because the last thing you really want to do is shoot.
That is scary.
Not at Top Gun. It's very comfortable, and you learn to load, handle, and shoot a handgun safely. Protect yourself. Go to Top Gun Academy. They're at 2770 Whitten Road.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's barbecue. We're cooking it up, down home way. Hickory smoke flavor like the good old days.
Hey y'all, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. Catering is our specialty. Memphians have trusted Corky's to cater their events for 40 years because we make it easy for you and delicious for your guests. Whether it's 50 people or a crowd of thousands, our experienced team comes to your location, sets up, serves, and ensures everyone enjoys a Corky's all-you-can-eat barbecue buffet starting at only $7.99 per person. You can't beat it. With 40 years of experience, it's easy to see why customers choose Corky's time and time again for all of their catering needs. Visit Corky'sBBQ.com to book us for your next party.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's barbecue.
Ready to shine, Memphis? Drive clean all month long with unlimited wash plans at Club Car Wash. Stop by any 4 Club locations in Greater Memphis or visit clubcarwash.com today.
Club Car Wash, join the club.
This traffic report brought to you by Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road, where great food meets the big game.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon, T-Dot. Still out here trying to clean up a couple little wrecks. Still some volume. Certain sections of Sam Cooper right now, mostly going outbound. They're up by Perkins as traffic gets a little bit heavier. 240 getting on to 385. Hadn't been too bad this afternoon so far as you work your way out towards Collierville on 385 Bill Morris Parkway going outbound. Zips Car Wash is where I go, and so should you this weekend. Get upgraded shine and protection at your local Zips Car Wash. Check out zipscarwash.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Here comes the hero man. Says he's a
Friday football forecast from First National Bank and Trust, a division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas. Real estate isn't something you purchase or develop or desire. It's something you appreciate, respect, and know. With real estate, there's no gray area. You either know it or you don't. First National Bank and Trust, a proud division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas. They've known it since their beginning in 1886. Clients depend on First National Bank because they know real estate. Brooks Winchester, Bill Samish, and many more can assist you in your acquisition of that hunting land, farmland, a construction project. Let First National Bank and Trust make your dreams a reality. 775 Ridge Lake Boulevard, Suite 140 in Memphis, 901-498-5763, or the office in Collierville, or online at fnbtmemphis.com. For commercial real estate, residential construction, or recreational and agriculture financing, let First National Bank and Trust help you. They're a division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas, where I have had an account, been a friend, and been a customer my entire life. Whether it's at Ridge Lake or in Collierville or in Eastern Arkansas, here's what you can count on. Stable, secure, solid, reliable, consistent, hundreds of years collectively of lending experience. That's what you get whether it's in Eastern Arkansas or in West Tennessee. First game of the day we're going to pick for tomorrow, 11 o'clock, ABC, Alabama -2.5 at
MIZ.
ZOU.
That's it. At Columbia, Missouri. 6-2 all-time Bama against Mizzou. They met in the Gator Bowl. Mizzou win. Met on opening night in 1975. Mizzou win. That was the first two. That was the Mizzou part of the two out of 8. The next 6 straights all been for Bama, including a 2014 SEC championship game and a biblical flood in 2012 in Columbia for Alabama beating Mizzou last year 34-0 in Tuscaloosa. Joe Tess, Jesse Palmer, Katie George, the announced team on ABC. Memorial Stadium, first Columbia matchup since 1979 of 2 top 15 teams in the Associated Press. That year it was number 4 Texas against number 5 Mizzou. 15 straight home wins for Mizzou. I'll start it. Roll Tide.
All right.
Bryant?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Alabama as well. We've kind of talked about them a lot this week.
27-17.
Okay, I like that. I'm going to roll with Alabama. We've talked about them a lot this week. Since that Florida State loss, they have looked really, really good. They've covered spreads. They've made it look relatively easy against pretty much everybody else in the big matchup against Georgia. They get the win. So I'm going to continue to roll with Bama here. I'll take them minus that 2.5.
Landon, group lock?
Yeah, well, first off, thanks for letting me join you guys on this Friday.
Glad you're back with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't miss college football picks or NFL picks. Can't miss that. But to get things started off, we're going to be rolling with a group lock on the Alabama Crimson Tide. I like this offense, and I think they got all the opening jitters out against Florida State, and they've been looking like they've been on a roll ever since. So go ahead and give me Alabama here.
2:30 on ABC in Dallas with Big Tex overlooking the State Fairgrounds at Fair Park, one of the great cathedrals of American sport and a gastrointestinal delight of all that bad food that's horrible for you, but it tastes so good at the Texas State Fairgrounds. 64-51 and 5 all time. Texas. The eyes of Texas never sounds better than at this game, pregame, when they're on the field. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe, 92,100 at the Cotton Bowl. Texas, 964 wins all time. OU, 955. OU only allowed 965 yards so far this year through 5 games. The last OU team to allow 965 or fewer through the first 5 games, the 1956 national championship team. All that said, give me Texas, 21-17 over OU. Bryant.
I'm going to go Oklahoma. I just think they're the better team. We've seen Texas. They have some issues, and I know Steve Sarkisian wants to say, well, I'd love to see teams have to go to Ohio State and go to Florida and win those games, but I just think Oklahoma's the better team. I think they've been playing really, really well, whether it is John Mateer, whether it is their backup quarterback in Michael Hawkins. I think that they've got enough weapons. That defense has turned a corner. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma here, plus that 1.5. I think Oklahoma wins this game and stays undefeated.
I'm right there with Brian. I'm going to go with Oklahoma here. From what I saw from Texas last week in a really not great Florida team, as we've seen throughout this year, Texas looks vulnerable. Texas looks very beatable, and I think Oklahoma's offense is rolling. I think they have really good weapons on defense as well to really get in Arch Manning's face and slow him down even more so. So I expect Oklahoma to win this game.
This next game really should be the First National Bank and Trust Bowl. 3:15 on SEC Net. Tennessee minus 11.5 over the Razorbacks. 13-7 all time. The Big Orange. They first met in Memphis in 1907. And no, I was not at that game, Bryant. They didn't meet again until meeting in Memphis in 1971. It was the game that put the Liberty Bowl game on the map, and I was not on that. I was not at that game either.
Wow.
I did not make the travel roster that night. They also met in the Cotton Bowl after the 1989 season, and they have played in Fayetteville. They've played in Little Rock. They've played in Knoxville. They've played in Dallas last year, 1914, in probably the best win of the Sam Pittman years. That win last year, 2015, the last time in Neyland, 24-20 Arkansas then, 1998, the Sterner stumble. UT was on its way to the national championship after that. Tomorrow, Dave Neal, Fozzie Whitaker, and Morgan Uber on the sidelines for SEC Net. Josh Heupel, 16-4 in his last 20 at Tennessee. Bryant, well-known Big Orange fan.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I am going to go with Tennessee here. I'm going to take them minus that 11.5. I know that Arkansas is coming off that open date. I know that, Bobby Petrino, he's trying to wave the flag of I can be your permanent head coach, and maybe those guys will rally around him and they'll put out a good showing. But Tennessee has looked good. We know that they've escaped. They had to escape against Mississippi State. We know that they lost that game against Georgia. But the season as a whole, I've been really impressed with what Tennessee has shown this year. Arkansas, it just feels like the start of the season was the best part of the season for them, and it feels like this could continue to go downhill now that they've got the interim head coach. So I'm going to take Tennessee to take care of business here and cover this big spread of 11.5.
Landon.
Well, it seems Ryan and I are on the same wavelength for a majority of our picks because I'm right there with them. I think Tennessee's just a stronger and better team, and like you were saying, we had an offensive explosion with this Arkansas team early in the season, but that was against Alabama A&M. That was against Arkansas State. They had a really good game against Ole Miss, but then it just seems everything's starting to unravel, and they're starting to come apart there. So I expect the offense to still make some production, but I think Tennessee's just going to be too mumuch for them to handle. So give me the Vols here.
Y'all looking at me like there's going to be a group lock. No chance. Woo, pig, suey, go Razorbacks. They don't win the game if they cover the point spread.
That's a big number.
Tennessee wins 34-27. Landon, college football, lock and shock.
All right, getting things started with my lock this week. I got to take Iowa State minus the 1.5 versus Colorado. Colorado, I don't know what to make of this team. It seems like they should have all the pieces to be a really good team, but they've just had lackluster performance week after week. And this Iowa State team with Rocco Becht at the helm, they just look a lot better. So I think they handled that point spread no problem with this game. I know Colorado kept it close to TCU last week, but TCU ended up running away with that game. So I think Iowa State's going to have no problem with this game. And my shock this week, I'm kind of taking a gamble, but I think Illinois can really put a game together. So I'm taking Illinois plus the 14.5 over the number one team in the nation in Ohio State. It's a big point spread. I don't think Illinois wins, but to cover that point spread, I think they will do so. So that's going to be my shock this week.
Brian.
Yeah, for my lock, I'm going to go with the team that I rolled with last week. I'm going to give them another stab. They got there for me last week. It was San Diego State. I'm going to go back to that well. I'm going to take them minus 7.5 against Nevada. This San Diego State team's putting together a really nice season. And on the other side, Nevada just can't get anything going. One win for them. They're just really struggling. It is a road game for San Diego State, but they have looked the part. That defense has looked really, really good most of the season. So I'm going to take San Diego State here to win by more than a touchdown. I'll take them minus 7.5. For my shock, I'm going to go to the American, and I'm going to take Rice, the Owls, plus 11.5 over another Owl in FAU. We saw FAU against Memphis a couple weeks ago, but this Rice team, it's a new look. They brought in a new coach. They're running a triple option style offense, and that defense, because of kind of what we've seen, the Navy Army effect of you keep that ball, you run it a lot, it wastes that clock. Rice is kind of doing that as well. So you're seeing a lot of these games where they're losing. They're 3-3 on the season, but even those games they've lost, they've only been blown out once. They've covered the spread in a lot of games this season. So I'm going to take Rice plus 11.5 over FAU.
My lock will be about 5 minutes from where I sit right now. It's going to be at Vaught Hemingway tomorrow, and it's Ole Miss laying the 32.5 and laying the lumber on Washington State. No looking behind or looking ahead, 45-zip Rebs. And I'm going to go back to, like you said, go back to the well one more time. They got there for me last week. My shock, straight up down at Kyle Field, Gators 19-18 over the Aggies. Gators getting 7.5. On Sunday morning, 8:30 on NFL Network, Denver minus 7.5 against the Jets. Denver leads all time 23-18-1. They first met in the first year of the AFL in 1960. Jets 0-5, Broncos 3-2. Once again, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah.
It's like every time you look up, we're at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, isn't it?
It's a hotbed.
More London. Bo Nix on offense. Patrick Surtain on defense. 8 turnovers, 52 penalties for the Jets offense. Landon.
I'm going to get things rolling here. The Jets will go 0-6. Broncos are going to absolutely take this game away. They looked really good last week. The Jets did not look really good, and they've not looked good really all season. They had a shootout with the Steelers in Week 1, but since then, there's really been nothing to see with this New York Jets team. So I expect Denver to run away with this on offense. So
Same.
Give me the Broncos.
Yeah, well, it's
28-12.
Yeah, it's a group lock. I'm going with Denver as well.
Noon on Fox, Jacksonville -1.5 over Seattle. Can the Jags follow up that Monday Night Football win with another win over Seattle, making the long trip across the country? 3-2 Seattle against 4-1 Jacksonville. The Seahawks lead 6-3 all-time, first meeting 1995. Quarterbacks that day, Mark Brunell against Rick Myra. Sunday, it'll be Justin Fields against Trevor Lawrence. Give me Seattle 19-10 over Jacksonville. Bryant.
I'm going to take Seattle in this one. I'll take them +1.5. I don't know if it's because of my Kraken fandom and my Mariners fandom, but I just something about that. I don't like the Seahawks, but something about them. I always feel like that they're a better team sometimes than what they show. But I'm going to take them plus that 1.5.
I'm right there with you. I really
blocks.
I really liked what I saw out of Sam Darnold last week. He looked like a really good QB, and I think he continues that this week. So let's go Seahawks.
325 on CBS. That was flexed to that time. Tampa Bay -2.5 over San Francisco. A pair of 4-1s. 3 straight at home for Tampa Bay. San Francisco beat Tampa Bay in each of the last 3 years. Don't forget about on defense for San Francisco, Bryce Huff with 3 sacks this year for that defense. Give me the 49ers and the 49ers big, 35-14. Brian.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against this 49ers team right now. They're playing so well. They're doing it in different ways with all those injuries and still finding ways to win. They're going to get some of those guys back this week. But with what Baker Mayfield is doing with Tampa Bay, he has been fun to watch. Ibuka has turned into a surefire wide receiver number 1 for him. So I'm going to take a stab at Tampa here. I'll take them minus that 2.5.
Well, it's good to hear we're not going to have another group block, but I am siding with Brian yet again.
Oh,
I'm going to be going with Tampa Bay. Look, I mean, this Bucs team, they like to keep it close, but they also like to make comebacks at the very end and win by 3 points, and that's exactly what the line favors. So go ahead and give me Tampa Bay.
Sunday Night Football, 7:20 on NBC. Kansas City -2.5 over Detroit. Jared Goff, one of the few people that can say this, he owns Patrick Mahomes. It's hard to believe, but he has really fared well against him. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark, 4-1 Detroit, 2-3 Kansas City. These two opened the 2023 season on a Thursday night. Both won 15 games last year. Terry and Arnold expected back for Detroit. Kansas City leads 9-6 all-time. 1971 first meeting. Lenny Dawson against Greg Landry that day. This is Mahomes versus Goff. Give me Kansas City to start getting well. Kansas City wins 21-14. Brian.
Yeah, Detroit's looking like a Super Bowl contender, really, since that first game against the Packers. On the other side, I think Kansas City is still a good team, but they do not look like a Super Bowl contender. I think Detroit can win this game. This is another scary one. You know, it's hard to bet against San Francisco. It feels like it's hard to bet against Kansas City, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Detroit here.
Landon?
I promise you that Brian and I did not share our lists and that we did not converse about any of our picks, but I'm going with the Lions as well in this game. Do we see a 2-4 Chiefs team? I think we do this week because I think the Lions are the stronger team. You got Sonic and Knuckles in the background. You've got Jared Goff slinging the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown. They look like a really good team, so give me the Lions.
Hurry up, no huddle, 5 wides, all running go routes. Landon, lock and shock.
My lock this week, I'm going to go with the Patriots minus the 3.5 over the Saints. Saints got a lucky one over the Giants last week. They do not continue that. And my shock this week, boy, it will be a shock. I'm taking my Titans plus 4.5 over the Raiders. I think the Raiders are not looking that great. Let's go Titans.
Brian.
Okay, I'm going to take the Colts minus 6.5 over the Cardinals. I'll take the Dolphins plus 4.5 over the Chargers.
Dolphins at home plus 4.5 over the Chargers. Yeah. Give me Pittsburgh minus the 6.5 over Cleveland. They win 24-7. And give me Carolina plus 3.5 at home over Dallas. They win 24-20. 21. We'll do the 2 Monday night football games at 5:30 on Monday afternoon. That was our Friday football forecast, brought to you every week by First National Bank and Trust, a division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas. For any real estate need, whether it's commercial, ag, or hunting, recreational, contact them at fnbt.com or call them at 901-498-5763.
Well, let's get to our final break of the day, and when we return, we'll wrap up today's show. We'll wrap up this week with Moe's Crunch Time.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home and office. Protect babies, pets, new homes, old homes, employees, friends, loved ones, and you. Just call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 for the Memphis Mold Inspector.
Hi, this is Greg Gaston from Sports 56 here with Corey B. Trotz and Parker Trotz from NST Law. Okay, Parker, tell us, why did you even want to become a personal injury lawyer?
We all know somebody that's been injured in an accident. They may be off work, without transportation, not to mention just having to heal from all of their injuries. And so being a personal injury attorney really gives me a unique opportunity to help people and do for them what they wouldn't be able to do on their own and help get them through a really difficult process while making them feel at ease.
Now, Corey, we know that NST Law has been around forever in the Memphis community. Tell us about some of the causes that really matter the most to your firm.
We have served food at the Ronald McDonald House, cleaned up parks in Memphis, delivered food to people who are food insecure. We've also donated to a lot of legal organizations that provide legal services to indigent clients. Our attorneys and staff want to continue to give back to this wonderful city that's helped us out so much.
Thank you so much, Parker. Thank you, Corey. Remember, NST is always the way to go. If you're ever injured, go to nstlaw.com.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about everything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Humdinger's Corporate Catering. Enjoy tacos made with crunchy slaw, grilled fish, and chicken, and the best taco sauce in town. Find out more, call Jenny Nash at 901-606-3172.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Say you stand by your man. Tell me something I don't understand. You said you love me.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries. Its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
Goodbye! Hello, Haskins.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need catering? Moe's Taco Truck is always ready to cater for you. Just give Jenny Nash a call at 901-606-3172. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies. Well, Brett, what I learned today, we talked about it earlier in the show, but there are some issues with this Philadelphia Eagles offense. Now, back-to-back losses and back-to-back games where they've scored 17 points. Last night, all 17 points came in the first half. It would have been a completely different story if they had scored those 17 points in the first half and even just added on a touchdown, a field goal, something in the second half. But it was absolutely zip after that. I mentioned it earlier, but the Eagles scored with 6 minutes and 56 seconds left in the second quarter. After that, the following drives went like this. Well, they had a drive where they couldn't really move the ball before half. Then it was punt, interception, fumble. They were not able to move the ball. When they were able to move the ball, they ended up having mistakes like an interception, like a fumble. And then on the other side, this young, hungry, fun Giants team took advantage of those mistakes, found the end zone. Cam Scadaboo with 3 rushing touchdowns last night. A fun Giants win against a really good Eagles team that looks like has real issues.
Doubled up by my Giants. How about
your
that?
Giants? That's right.
What I learned today, the SEC will start the sorting out process. Look, at the end of the year, there will be 64 wins and 64 losses among SEC games. That will be it. But the real sorting out process starts tomorrow. We chuckled earlier about Bill Connolly at ESPN.com today. He said for this weekend, 31 games could bring a sense of order to college football season of chaos. 31. That's about the weekend.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, but hey, I guess whatever you want to say, but it is going to be an interesting weekend, especially in the SEC. Well, Brett, what I could have done without the news that came out last night, and only a couple weeks after it was announced that Sister Jean would no longer be with the Loyola Chicago basketball team, it was announced last night that she passed away at 106 years old. The Loyola Chicago chaplain and college basketball icon that became easily recognizable during Loyola Chicago's Final Four run in 2018 and became, like I said, an icon in college basketball. It was hard to, when you think of the biggest names in college basketball in that time, Sister Jean was often named, even though, again, she was just the chaplain for Loyola Chicago. A great life lived, 106 years, and it unfortunately, she passed away last night. So definitely rest in peace, prayers to her family, and to that entire Loyola Chicago university, team, community. But, it's fun to look back at the fun memories that we have with her, with that Loyola Chicago team.
A well-lived life and 106 years that was one shining moment, wasn't it?
That's exactly right. Well said.
What I could have done without the lack of attention we've had all week for all this college football, for Michigan ranked 15th, 4-1, at 4-1 SC. Michigan and USC, and hardly a peep. Second visit ever to the Coliseum for Michigan, first since 1957. 12th meeting ever between Big Blue and the men of Troy. 8 of 11 of the times they played have been in the Rose Bowl game. 6-5 Southern Cal. These two teams, 1,882 combined wins.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm glad you brought that up because it feels like both of those teams, both in the top 25, but it feels like both have kind of just been flying under the national radar. We've talked about them a little bit, but I don't think anybody's coming here just screaming, oh, man, this USC team, oh, man, this Michigan team. They're just flying under the radar, so that will be a really fun game tomorrow. Where are you beaming this weekend?
About 5 minutes from where I'm sitting right now, the best place on earth in college football's number one tailgate, The Grove, alongside Gary Darby and Jake Ramada. Airtime on this station, on these stations, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM at 9:30. 9:30, and then kickoff at 11:45 with David Kellum, Harry Harrison, and John Darnell on the sidelines. Ole Miss and Wazoo. Wazoo in from the Palouse, the number one barley area in the world, and where Anheuser-Busch buys most of their barley.
Is that right?
I learned that today.
I would have
that should
never
have been what I
known
learned.
that. Honestly, it should have been. I would have never known that if you hadn't just told me. Well, Brett, there's a lot of places to beam this weekend, but I have to beam tonight up to Seattle, a massive Game 5 for the Tigers and the Mariners. The Tigers, they got to feel good. They're going with their ace, Trick Skubal. On the other side, the M's will turn to George Kirby. Should be a fun one later tonight.
It's a weekend where you can throw a dart, beam there, watch there, keep up with Ohio State, Illinois, 1 versus 17, 8 versus 14, Bama and Michigan, 7 versus 3, Indiana at Oregon, Red River, Arkansas at Rocky Top, Georgia, Auburn, Michigan, USC. Take your pick. The baseball, the NFL.
Oh, I mean, so
Good
much.
stuff.
Yeah, whatever you're into, you've got it this weekend. It's going to make it a lot of fun. Like you said, Brett, you can listen to the Ole Miss game right here tomorrow morning on Sports 56. We'll have a triple header in the NFL on Sunday as well. So it's going to be a fun weekend. Enjoy all the action. That's all the time we have. We'll talk